Hey guys, I'm introducing Kevin Nealon, one of my all-time favorites. I won't be doing it with Dana. He's in traffic, and so I hurry and rushed and did it by myself because then I get to be me. Sometimes when I send an email, I put subject me. Sometimes I don't. You know, it's going to be a struggle without Dana. You're going to have to strug through, folks. Strug it up. Kevin Nealon. By the way, Kevin Nealon has a book out. You know, Kevin, he does caricatures, is that fair to say? Cartoons. He's great at it. I don't know if he's done the Spade Man, but he's done a bunch, and I see him on his Instagram. But the book is called I Exaggerate My Brushes with Fame. Classic Kevin Nealon. Very clever title. He paints or something, you know, in the brush. Do you get it? Oh, my God. I'm not going to walk you through all of them. Okay. By the way, I saw Miles Teller the other night. I was at a undisclosed Hollywood hotspot. And I said, if you ever host SNL, you should have them all lined up in the monologue, the whole cast, and just name them all. Sponge bath, popcorn, camel toe. Who'd fucking kill? If you want to kill. Do you want to bomb? Do something else. And then you could add this noise when the plane flies over. If you want. Call that, I'll call it in. Anyway, Kevin is great with his jokes because you know what he does? He doesn't put any spin on them. He puts nothing. And I loved it because I used to do stand-up. When I started, I was at the Improv, and I'd see his name on the chalkboard. I always say this. But it was like Paul Reiser, Jay Leno, Jerry Seinfeld, Jeff Altman, like all these great comics. And I got to bring them up. They made me be an MC for a while. So I'd have to go and go, what do you want me to say about you? And I go, just say I've been on Merv Griffin, Carson, and, you know, Mike Douglas. These are old shows. And I'd go, okay, whatever they are. Open for Joanne Worley and Phyllis Diller. You know, it was like back in the day. So, but Nealon was always one of the ones I'd watch, and I go, God, he does not put any spin on it. Driest stuff, the most throwaway jokes. And I was sort of patterning after that. Like I was sort of a research paper of Dennis Miller and all the comics I like. And then I kind of went into my own thing. But at the beginning, you have to like people. And, you know, but I also like Steve Martin, Eddie Murphy. So, you know, you just never know. But Kevin is great. He was great to talk to, as advertised. I was repeating a bunch of his jokes to him, which I always do. And I think you'll like it. Here he is, Kevin Nealon. I have a question for you, but I got to wait for Dana, they said. Okay, they're all dumb, though.
How's it been going?
Oh, this is going through the roof, buddy.
Awesome, man.
I think. I don't know.
Hey, I love your red... it's an audio podcast. Sorry. Well,
I've been losing more stuff on the road. You know, like I leave it on airplane pockets and stuff. I had like the little ones, but they're kind of gone now, along with my Apple Pencil, my iPad Pencil.
You know, I was on a flight this week, and in the seat back in front of me, it said, this whole, you know, placket about the safety briefing has been scrubbed down with antibacterial stuff. It's stamped on it. I go, I don't believe it. I was skeptical.
Yeah.
Because they never even touched it after that. And I was like, I touched it.
I don't believe the life preservers work either, you know, or the oxygen masks.
Well, I have such a terrible fear of flying. When they come around and we get to a comfortable cruising altitude and they go, well, would you like a beverage? So inside I'm screaming for a beer because my pulse is like 160.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, I don't know. What do you got? I'll have grapefruit juice. No, I guess I'll have a Heineken.
Oh, you dance around it a little bit?
Well, my wife, she has no fear of flying. So she orders coffee and a Heineken. And then I order a Heineken. And then I have two. And then I put them on her tray. And I kind of shrug to the flight attendant like, I don't know. She's got an issue.
You beat the system.
One time I was joking around.
I'm on the ground. I don't drink. Yeah, go ahead.
One time I was joking around with a flight attendant. It was like a 7 a.m. flight. She goes, can I get you something to drink? I said, yeah, I'll have a scotch on the rocks. And it was like ordering orange juice. He goes, okay, want that on the rocks. Okay, what would you like something, sir? You know, because a lot of people drink when they're flying.
because of fear of flying. This famous actress flew next to me once. Guess who?
Is this Sophia Loren?
No, it predates her. But anyway, this actress was really cool because they came around with these vodka lemon drinks on this flight. And she goes, I'll do it twice as opposed to give me 2 of them. And she kept saying, I'm going to sleep later, so I'll do it twice. So that's what I say to my wife. Ladies and gentlemen, the comedy never. Why is anyone?
Listen, Dana, my airplane bits, I think I did on my first Tonight Show. Airplane bits are a real staple of comedians, I feel. And I think we all have some. And I remember the one that I can't do anymore, because it's old, even though Seinfeld said you should still do old jokes. But I said, when you're in first class and then you're in coach and you're a loser in coach, so the lady will walk out of first class and look at you. Then she looks back and shuts the little curtain so you can't even see the people in first class. She's like, it's a good sound too. And then she snaps it shut, and then she comes back later with a tire gun and goes, "Bring." I go, I'm not looking. I'm not.
Well, I remember this one. I like the effects.
I know what that curtain close looks like from first class, but not from coach.
Oh, you look back and you go, can you get one more snap?
You know who was on my flight 2 weeks ago? John Hamm.
Oh.
John Hamm.
I didn't say anything to him because I didn't want to have to walk back to coach. You know what I mean?
So rude.
What? Can I do my impression of John Hamm?
Yeah.
I don't even know you.
What's that from? Bridesmaids?
I can't. I don't even know you. It's him on. It's someone asking him a favor on Mad Men. I don't even. know you.
I see it.
So I can't hear myself.
Dana, I've seen memes where, because I'm representing the younger generation here. I've seen memes where, because I'm tragically still on Instagram, but they show John Hamm in an elevator or something, and someone says something to him, and then they put a picture of John Hamm going, "I don't even know you." So it must be a famous line from the show.
It also makes you do the impression. Kevin, what's your famous for you airplane bit? Do you have one?
Oh, yeah. It's, I was flying the other day and I think the pilot was a little inexperienced.
It's already funny.
I like this.
We were getting ready to take off. He goes, folks, we'll be taking off in a few minutes. Whoa, here we go.
Oh, yeah, well, I love that he's a little inexperienced. I was kind of nervous.
And then we were up in the air for like 20 minutes, and he comes back on the PA. He goes, folks, I can't seem to figure out where. Oh, never mind, I got it.
Oh, here's a good one. I go, we land. I go, why are you allowed to land anywhere near the actual airport? We're taxiing around and going. I'm like, hey, I saw some lights over there. Oh, we're going this way. And then I go, all right. And then we got to the gate, and we're not even allowed to park at the gate. And then we start following this pilot. He's walking to a plane because I see him holding his keys, but then he's just getting something out of his plane, so we can't park there. It's sort of. I think that was it. It was better. I guess.
I was in an emergency landing once, and
I've had many of them.
I discovered that the overhead luggage compartments are not emergency exits.
You just called up there. I did one that we'll probably have to cut this out, but I was playing Spellbinders in Houston in the 80s. I didn't go on the road that much, but Bill Hicks, who's a famous comedian who passed away, was my opener. So he would dare me to do a hacky opening. So I don't know if it was my joke, and I couldn't do it today. It'll be canceled. But it was like I'd go up and I'd go, hey, ladies and gentlemen, I flew here on Mexicana Airlines. It was a great airline. The pilot had dice hanging in the cockpit. And he just thought that was the greatest thing ever. That guy would go on stage with a sport coat for like 20 minutes. He had a big sport coat on. He's doing all his jokes. And then he would reach in and pull out an ice cold Budweiser beer. He kept it in his jacket like a magician for 20 minutes for that one joke. Anyway.
One time he tried to drink a Dove. He pulled out by mistake.
Oh, I had that with the great Scott at Comedy Magic Club. The birds, he'd get them and they come out of his jacket. You know where they were coming from. And he pulled it out and it was dead. It was like,
I thought they were made of paper.
That's your showstopper, ladies and gentlemen.
Rubber.
Hey, no, but Kevin, you'll like this story, I think, because we're comedians, but I was telling somebody last night that one of my buddies was a waiter at the Dallas Improv. Remember the Dallas Improv? I loved the old one in Dallas off Central and Walnut, I think. And it was right next to Kroger's. And so a comedian came in and he was there in the day, but setting up. And the comedian, the headliner, it's kind of jerky. I don't even know who it was for real. But he came in, he starts bossing everyone around, getting the keys to the condo and, asking him this and that and sort of being pushy. So the waiters realized they didn't like him. And then he came back in for the show and he goes to my buddy, hey, come here. And he goes, because this is some people that listen to this know comedy, you have to adapt to a city. So he goes, what's the big store around here? Is it Alpha Beta? He goes, no, it's Kroger's. That's the one around the corner. And he goes, yeah, okay. And you guys have a Circle K? He goes, no, we have 7-Eleven. He goes, yeah, okay. He's working his act out. And then he goes, and what's this big, huge street right in front of here with all the traffic? He goes, oh, that's Apollo Boulevard, which was a lie. And so the guy gets up and he starts killing. And then he goes, and that was crazy. I couldn't even get here because of Apollo Boulevard. He just comes to a complete screeching halt. And then he goes, Apollo over here. And someone goes, Central Expressway. He goes, no, Apollo. And he's arguing with him. And then he just keeps digging a deeper hole. And he comes to my friend later. He's like, you fucking dick. And he's like, he goes, oh yeah, you know what? I said it wrong. That is Central Expressway.
Mike Myers and I were playing Green Bay, Wisconsin, I think. So we came, they said, oh, they love it if you say cheeseheads. So we went up there. I don't know if we're doing Wayne Garth or whatever. Like cheeseheads. I swear there was almost a riot. That is like a slur. That is cheesehead. We kept doing it. Mike's like, I don't know what's going on, man. Anyway, we should introduce our guest today, Kevin Nealon.
Kevin Nealon.
Saturday Night Live All-Star, Weeds. How many times he's been on The Tonight Show, Letterman. How many specials? Three stand-up specials? 4?
Two,
but working on a third.
2, but all good material.
Yeah.
I didn't space it out like a lot of comics.
Seinfeld says every comedian, even the good ones, have about an hour 20 of good material, even if they do 10 specials. He goes,
you're quoting Seinfeld a lot.
I know, that's the only second time. That's it. But
he's the Pope.
Because there's more to come.
Yeah. That's
every
quarter.
The rules of how you're supposed to do stand-up. You can obey them or not, but he has definite rules of how.
What does Seinfeld say about Jesus?
He does.
Jesus? I don't do religion, then half the people hate you.
I think this is a big compliment. Kevin, some of the top comedians will talk and say, Kevin is one of the tallest comedians. That has to mean something to you.
It's really a compliment, because... there's rumors out there that I'm not that tall. So when somebody validates that for me, it really, and it's weird too, because I have a fear of heights. So every day I live in fear,
Kevin, I was saying the other day that if you're ever around a vulture, don't play dead because that's what they want.
That's right.
That's right.
It's one of Nealon's old bits. Not even a bit. Really? It's more of a line. Yeah, that's yours.
I didn't know that was mine.
Oh, for real? It's funny.
Yeah.
Let's go back and say, before we get to SNL, when Kevin Nealon, I used to watch, and when I started and I was at the Improv, which was a big deal. I was doing hosting, which is a hard job. And I would host and have to bring every comic up from 8 to 1 a.m. And I'd end in the hallway and I go, what do you want me to say about you? And so I'd kind of know comics, acquaintances, because they'd say, oh, you're the MC, blah, blah, blah. But Nealon was on the chalkboard. Carvey wasn't there as much, but I was pretty influenced by a little peppering of Nealon, a little Carvey, a little Dennis Miller. And when you're starting out, you start to see all these great comics right in front of you. You don't have to wait a week or 3 to see them on Carson or something. So I got influenced, but you guys were all great. And then something happened. Remember, Nealon, when I got kicked out of John Mulrooney's place because his roommate, who actually passed away, God, that comic was great. And then you said, oh, why don't you rent my room while you got SNL? Remember that whole thing?
Yeah. You rented my room?
And Alciona.
On Alciona.
Yeah, so it was me, you, Bob Duback, Dana above the garage, and Joe,
my wife and
the writer.
Joe Kenny. Joe Kenny.
We lived above the garage. It was like a little mini compound, not fancy at all. I got hassled by the Postal Service there. That's a whole nother story. But my wife and I were saving her salary, which was $29,000 a year, working for a state assemblyman, so we could save up and buy a house. So it was $300 a month, and it was just a room with a sink. We had a hot plate. I come up back after a gig and just watch TV with headphones on, and she would sleep. And Kevin was rented it to us, or Kevin invited us to live there.
But Bob was like the ringleader of the place. I was just a renter. I had that little bedroom on the end there. But I went back there about a year ago with my wife and son to just see what it looked like. And the owners were there, and they had filled in the driveway with a yard and a swing set.
What?
And a little wall that goes across the front. You could park a little bit in there, but it doesn't have that big parking lot.
Yeah, there's a big
I told him we used to live there. And in fact, the guy's wife, Dana, did your costume for the commercial you guys did, or wardrobe for the
Wayne and Garth
for the Wayne and Garth for the Super Bowl commercial.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah. So she knew you. But they gave me a tour of the place. I went inside, and they had changed it around a little bit. I saw where your apartment was, which is their office now. And there's like a downstairs. Nobody lives downstairs. They have a staircase in a living room that goes down to the lower apartment.
Wait, was there? It was all one story, right? Like your bedroom was close to Alciona.
There was a couple that lived downstairs with their baby.
Downstairs? I don't even remember that. I don't think I was allowed. Noises. No, I wasn't allowed but Nealon was very nice because when he come back I had just done like police academy. I was pretty new. And when you guys would come home, that was really exciting because you had war stories and you would say hi to me, and Nealon, you would stay on the couch. You wouldn't even kick me out of the room because you thought that was unfair.
Why don't I remember any of this stuff?
I know, because I was forgettable, and I've been told that by my parents, especially my dad.
But I do remember that when you got on SNL, I lost my subletter. So you really kind of screwed me over there.
Oh, yeah, that is true. And so I had to
tell the story.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, but we're all three interacted in this mid-'80s thing, and we all eventually ended up on SNL. But when I met David, I never had been on SNL. When I met Kevin, he'd never been on SNL. I got on SNL by a long story for another time. But then, freakily, they had one last slot they were trying to cast in New York. And this is true. It sounds funny at the time, but they mentioned Chevy or somehow, I don't know if they were serious, but you know, somebody tall or something. So I said, well, I know someone tall. And then through whatever machinations, Bristling Gray or whatever, Kevin came out to the studio. And I think, so now Kevin's auditioning, but the show had been cast. But I think we were in 8H, and didn't you just sort of stand near us, near like 8 or 10 people and do stand-up? Or
yeah,
where were you?
It wasn't a typical audition, I don't think.
Yeah.
I went there, and I immediately got tired when I walked into that studio because I used to fall asleep watching that show, and it was an association thing, you know?
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
So Dana and I used to do characters at our house on Alciona Drive in the Hollywood Hills. You know, we would stand out in the driveway and just kind of riff on different, like a couple of different characters. And I didn't do any characters or accents or impressions. You know, I was just a stand-up, a really good stand-up.
Yes,
it's true. I'll show you. You'll see.
Oh no, and, I want to make an I'd like to make an observation. The thing about your style of stand-up, which really lent itself to this high-pressure situation, was you never know when you've started. Like you're suddenly kind of talking, and there's no presentation or like, now here's my joke. You just start doing that sly kind of. You know, you always gotta keep pace with life, whatever. And then so you essentially killed. But go ahead.
So so I go to Studio at H, and typically they have you on the center stage, I guess, and you have to do like 3 characters and 3 accents or something. I don't know what it is, but there wasn't that demand when I went there, and I just I did the characters we worked on, I think it was a couple of Sammys, and it was like Sammys. The 2 guys, the 2 porn stars talking about very casual stuff.
Were some of them a little undercooked?
Yeah, totally.
Oh, they never got fully baked. They were very undercooked.
They're just like, here's a wispy idea that I'm fucking just throwing shit out to hope something, you
That's
go.
what I was doing.
Yeah,
That's what I
'cause
was doing. And I
they
did
look
some
for a
stand-up.
nugget of a thought. I think Downing those guys and Lauren, they go, I like that weird idea, even if it's undercooked and it's not quite fully formed and written out well. We got great writers here. You give us that idea, we throw it on the table. I bet we could come up with something. So that's what I learned they like. But go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
My memories tells me that I was standing at the end of the bleachers or something, and I was on the floor, and everybody like Dennis Miller, you, John Lovitz, Nora Dunn, Lauren,
Phil,
Marcy, Phil. Oh, I don't know if Phil was there, but anyway, you guys were all on the bleachers watching me, and I did my thing. It was very short, and then I left.
You know what's funny? Oh yeah, his act is so dry that it's almost, I think I took a page out of that, because if it doesn't work, you're almost like it wasn't supposed to work. I'm just talking. I was just talking, and now I'm leaving.
I'm out there screaming, desperate, trying to get laughs. And if I swing and a miss, it's over. But Kevin, I want to know the timeline from when you first heard in California, hey, they might be interested in SNL. Can you fly to New York? You do your thing. Is that like a week later, and then you find out the next day, or how soon after?
It was
you did
very
that?
quick. It was very quick. I remember that. It was like a weekend. Like on Friday, I think they told me I have it. I'm coming to New York. I didn't have the chance really to tell my friends that I was on SNL. I just packed up. I got Spade to rent my room, and I went to New York.
Did you stay at the Omni Berkshire?
I think so, or the Essex House. I don't even remember, I didn't even know New York that well. And Al Franken said, you got to find a good neighborhood to live in. And I think, isn't New York a neighborhood? I didn't know there were separate neighborhoods. You got to find a place that's close to a subway and something with grocery stores, like the Upper West Side or whatever.
Yeah.
So Dana and I actually, after a couple of years in, we lived in the same apartment building on Broadway.
At the Bromley?
Yeah.
Bromley is very, very nice.
I think Mikey Myers stayed at the Bromley, and then Farley moved into the Bromley.
Huh. Well, there was a movie theater right underneath it, which was kind of cool. And it was close to the park, and it wasn't too expensive.
Across from Zabar's and H&H Bagels, not far away.
Yeah. And
everyone lived Upper West that I knew. Andy and Katie, my relatives, lived up there. And then slowly, I'm not jumping ahead, but slowly people trickled to the village, and I didn't, because I only knew my little haunts. And by the time it was over, I didn't know anybody up there, because you guys.
Yeah, I moved to the West Village, and it was a beautiful federal style home, I think they call it. Like a brownstone, and we had the top 2 floors. Dana, did you ever come over there?
I don't think so. I was.
It had 4 fireplaces, high ceilings, and it was just really cool. And it was right next to the meat market district, which is now like the hip place. But back then it was really the meat market. And at night when I come home from SNL, I'd see these like rave clubs where there'd be these transgenders out front, waiting to go in, like 3 a.m. And, but now it's like totally gentrified and it's beautiful.
So so then maybe a week or 2 later, you're premiering on Saturday Night Live?
Yeah. Well, are you at the beginning of a season, or are you at the?
I'm at the beginning of 86. That fall.
The first show. Yeah.
The first
Who was the host?
It was Sigourney Weaver.
Ooh, good.
Yes. Sigourney Weaver.
I remember
was the
at
host.
the end of that week when she was saying the good nights, I was so jealous because she got to go. She got to leave, and I had it kind of she was like a prisoner getting released. And I had to stay.
just because of how did you handle the nerves? Because
it was so intense.
Yeah, it's just crazy, right?
Well, you know what I pretended? Because the year before that, the ratings were so low and they almost pulled the plug. In fact, we all lived out of our suitcases every day. We didn't know if the show was going to get canceled. So that's what I kept in mind. I thought, nobody's watching this show. Otherwise, my nerves would have killed me. And I thought, I'm used to playing in front of 300 people, which is about how many are in that studio. And then I remember I was still nervous, though. And we're away from a commercial. And my first sketch was Mr. Subliminal, which is kind of like 2 conversations at once,
Oh, wow. That was on the first show you got to do that?
Yeah. So 10 seconds before the sketch is supposed to start, we're away at a commercial and we're coming back from the commercial. Lauren comes up to me and he puts his hand on my shoulder and he says to me, are you sure this is what you want?
What?
That's his way to relax you, I suppose.
Yeah.
But he would say those funny things. So give us 10 seconds of Mr. Subliminal so people know what we're talking about.
Well, Mrs. Subliminal is the guy who kind of inserts these words into a sentence to get what he wants. Like if I go to a deli or something, I say, I think I'll have the corned beef sandwich, your treat. Now, maybe, why don't you throw in a Diet Coke too, whiskey, and that'll be good for me,
So he manipulates his way through life with subliminal messages. Yeah. And his name is Mr. Subliminal. Yeah, I love it.
First show, you got a good one on.
Yeah, I got a good one, and I started getting recognized right away.
That's the funnest part. I mean, it takes a while to get famous, and then you just stay famous. But it takes longer. Back then, SNL, there was probably SNL and maybe HBO. There wasn't a ton of choices. I mean, there was 3 networks or 4 networks maybe.
And cable was very new.
Cable's new, yeah.
So it wasn't so overriding, and you would get recognized. There was a water cooler effect to it, and Kevin and I, we had a small cast, so everyone got involved pretty quickly. You're on 2 or 3 things a show.
Was Jan that year? You met Jan on the show? I love Jan Hooks. She was
Jan
so
Hooks
fucking
and
funny.
Phil Hartman and Kevin and I came in, and then Lovitz and Dennis, Nora Dunn, and Whitney Brown were there.
Wait, so Dana, you hadn't started
then Victoria
yet?
Jackson.
So you were
Kevin and I. My first show was Kevin's first show. I was living with Lauren in Long Island, but then I got a place in Manhattan, and my first show was Kevin's first show. But I've been there since August, hanging out.
I was about to say, you actually had some influence. You hadn't even started yet.
I was with Lauren for a month. I didn't know he used to come out, and initially it was just me. I was the only one out there, and then Chevy Chase.
Scary that you would go stay with Lauren and see McCartney and these guys.
McCartney, hanging out every night with McCartney. We all got to know
Paul McCartney.
Well, Lauren does one of it. He knows there's Paul Simon and Paul McCartney. So he said, Paul's coming over tonight. And you have to ask Paul who. That would be McCartney. And I'd never even been on television.
Dean. Yeah.
One time we were all having lunch.
Stone.
We were all having lunch. I think it was Central Cafe in New York. It was me, Steve Martin, Lauren, and maybe Billy Joel was there too. And Steve was talking about Cher. Lauren was talking about Cher, and Steve piped in. He goes, "Cher who?"
Steve for having those big jokes like in his old albums, which I used to memorize, and those crazy things. He would also say the driest shit like that too. It's so funny.
Oh, yeah. But that was Lauren. Everybody does impressions of Lauren too, every cast member would do
so great
through the generations. But the other thing about us being on it was a small cast, and then it started getting bigger and bigger. Like our introductions only lasted maybe 2 minutes. And now if you watch it, there's 50 people on the show. Even
one sketch
featuring so-and-so, and then somebody who might be on, he's standing by, we'll see, so-and-so.
And a contest winner.
Yeah.
I think Kevin and I were on the last small cast show, and then it grew with Mike Myers and then David and Adam and everybody else. But initially, I think it was just 6 of it. I was kind of 3 or 4.
Well, what happened was we kind of ran out of tricks, and Lauren kind of saw the writing on the wall. He goes, we got to get some more energy in here, some more people with some ideas.
It was like COVID that was expanding, and we were like the Delta coming in. It was just getting bigger and bigger.
I came in hard and fast with the lady, but I had the benefit of having Phil and the lady and Phil and Jan were on it, and the host would be on it. Sean Penn beat me up and stuff. But the only time it was very conscious with Kevin and I doing a tour with Dennis was our eventual Hans and Franz characters.
It was great. You did the Swatch tour.
That's right. Yes. It was the Swatch tour.
I was so jealous. I heard you guys were making $6,000 a night. I was shitting. I was like, no fucking way.
It was $5,000 a night. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, I feel better. But
yeah. So,
I went and saw it in Arizona, and it was so huge for comedians. There were 3 great comedians are coming to town. It was unreal. And you don't have to do that long. I probably do a half each or something.
I remember we were in Denver. It was our last, I think, stop on the tour. And John Travolta came with some mutual friends of mine.
Yeah.
And he offered us all a ride back to LA. He was piloting his jet.
Whoa.
And I jumped on it. I said, yeah, I'll go. But you and Dennis, Dana, were fearful flyers. So you said no.
I was a huge Welcome Back Kotter fan, but I couldn't imagine that guy steering. But I've been tapped out. I've been tapped out a few times in my life. Impressionists get tapped out. So I was doing Travolta that night, a really silly, stupid bit, whatever, all these guys like this and that. And the crowd starting to roar. Obviously, he's sneaking up behind me. And I'm really, because, I can't.
Oh, my God.
And then he taps me on the shoulder. And then he says, I think it's a sincerest form of flattery.
Oh, how
but
great.
I tell people, because they always ask, who was the best this, and this? I would say Travolta was the most accessible, real superstar I've ever met. Like instantly liking him, and he was just very affable. Didn't you find, Kevin? I mean, it's just this no sense he was a superstar at all. Nothing.
He just loves being in the business and acting. And when he was hosting that week, he really befriended Jan and gave her a nice long leather brown jacket for her birthday. And one night we all went over to Jan's apartment. It was me and Johnny and our mutual friends, Linda and Anson.
Johnny.
And we get to Jan's apartment,
Travolta.
and we were each doing our impression of his character from Grease. Like that one scene where he leans against the wall, and he leans against the wall and turns around with a cigarette in his mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Hilarious.
we were all doing that impression, and then John went last, and he nailed it. I mean, he won the
How
competition.
fucking cool.
Yeah.
He was the best at doing it. That's amazing.
Yeah. Crazy, man. He must have been practicing, but that's what he's like. He'll do that stuff.
I was only on the show a little bit when I met him, and about 3 years later, I was at Sushi 101 on Beverly, and I was eating, and he came in with a hat and he's ordering to-go stuff. And I'm like, this motherfucker looked like John Travolta. And then he turns around and looks, and then he keeps ordering, gets his bag, and turns on and he goes, hey, it's John. What's up? Remember me? I was on SNL with you. I go, I remember you. Yeah. I saw Grease 45 times.
Yeah.
And then Saturday Night Fever. And right around the same time, bam, bam.
Urban Cowboy.
Monster. Urban Cowboy.
That same week he was hosting, we all went to the Palms restaurant on the Lower East Side, and we're walking.
Jeez, give him some breathing room. Go ahead.
You're stalking
That was his idea. It was his idea. We were walking up 3rd Avenue, and this is like in 1994 or 95, way after Welcome Back, Kotter. Mm-hmm. And there's this homeless guy sitting on the sidewalk, and he's looking down. And as we're approaching, he goes, hey, you guys got any spare? And he looks up and he sees Travolta. He goes, hey, Vinny Paparino. That was the last time that guy probably watched TV.
Dude, how funny was that fucking Tarantino's Welcome Back, Kotter? How funny was that sketch? That was a great one.
Well, Kevin, you remember that John Travolta came to Saturday Night Live just to be a fly on the wall, to hang out and learn the show. And that's when I met him. And then he hosted later, but I think I'd left by then. So I missed that part. But yeah, he just was hanging out.
I missed the one where, the Tarantino one?
Yeah.
Where it was, oh my God, I got to be Horseshack. Mr. Kotter.
You know who I missed by a couple of seconds was when George Harrison came and stopped by the writers' room.
Oh, no. Wow.
Yeah, he came in.
Is that when he played the piano?
Yeah, he was playing the piano. It was next to Al Franken's office. And Al Franken didn't know it was George Harrison. And he was yelling from his office, keep it quiet, I'm trying to write.
That's so poor Al. I'm just trying to write a song, for Paul.
Shut up! Then he flipped in the writer's room, remember he flipped the table, he's mad, and he smashed his toe. Oh, he might have been gone.
He was Al is like stocky, and he was a wrestler.
Not George Harrison.
One night, him and Farley, sorry, I was spaced out. Him and Farley went at it like hardcore, fighting each other.
To wrestle, yeah.
But for playful fun, but it was intense, those two guys.
Yeah, Frankie was always
super competitive.
Frankie was always kind of exploring. He wanted to be a part of your history. Like I was a football player, so he wanted to play football. We would play basketball. He wanted to wrestle with Farley. That was the thing about Farley too. Farley was really, even as heavy as he was so light on his feet, and he was a good basketball player and really coordinated. You saw him skating in the rink,
Well, that's what made
shockingly
him so funny.
light on his feet. Yeah.
Yeah.
That Nancy Kerrigan sketch, I don't know if you guys remember that one, was the whole show wasn't that great, but he was doing the ice skating one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very good. Wisconsin
Well,
skater.
look at him on the down by the river thing. Just anyway.
Hey, Dana, who was your biggest idol on that show that you got to meet? I'll tell you who it was.
Okay.
It was Neil Young.
I had to be Neil Young, but Paul McCartney I met before the show, so it doesn't really count in real life.
Right.
But meeting Neil Young was quite a thrill. And one night, I don't know if you were there, Kevin, we went out to dinner like with 6 or 8 people with Neil, and I was with Phil, and I said, Phil, let's make Neil Young helpless with laughter. Let's see if we can really get him. So we're doing every shtick we can, every accent, just going crazy just to get him helpless, and we did, just to pay him back. Fun story, right, kids?
That is good. That is good. I like that.
You meet people, when you're on Saturday Night Live, you just meet famous people doing sketch comedy, so they're especially vulnerable, and they're looking to you for advice after the first couple seasons. It's interesting, isn't it? Do you ever help people out?
I find that anybody who's ever hosted, no matter how long ago it was, they're still your best buddy because they latch onto you because they're so scared on that show. They latch onto you and they're friends forever.
Yes.
Yeah, you skip a few levels of casual friendship and you get in there because you're in the trenches so fast and you're explaining cue cards or you're saying this or you're telling them when to get, if you start crying on Friday night, that's normal. Don't freak out. Because it's so overwhelming to go, we haven't even rehearsed half this shit and it's tomorrow. And I don't even know what's going on. And they start, my clothes are made of Velcro.
Yeah.
Remember Robert Mitchum?
Robert
Mitchum came in, the famous movie star. Yeah. And he had a gigantic thing of Jack Daniels in his room, but he was incredible on the show. Just you meet so many eclectic people.
I remember he stopped one of the sketches right in the middle during the table read, and he was explaining what hoodlums, where that word came from, and it broke the whole pacing of the sketch.
Oh yeah.
Hey Neil, were you a bartender? Were you a bartender in the Improv?
Yeah, I worked as a bartender for 2 years at the Improv. I was 25, 26.
At the Improv on Melrose?
Yeah. And then Eddie, who's the bartender now, took over for me. And that was
really?
30, I don't know, 30 years ago. He's still bartending. People love him.
I told Eddie, I said, you're like a friend to me. So you know what? I'm just going to order all my drinks and then I'll tip you at the end. But I meant the end when he quits.
When he dies.
Yeah. So I said at the very end.
He can't quit now.
I saw online, Neil was a bartender and they said, here's a trivia question. What was Kevin's joke about bartending? And so I tried to guess. And they wrote a joke kind of to sound like you and used the real answer, which is probably a lie, was I just try to put as much alcohol in as possible. And the other answers were, I just try to get the color right of the drink. And the other one was kind of funny. He said, I just tell them to tip me up front. That sounds like a joke. I guessed that one. That sounds like a joke you'd say.
Which one was it, Kevin?
Well, the truth is, I mean, it wasn't even a joke. It's just I never bartended before, so I didn't know how to make drinks. I had the bartender guide below the bar. If somebody ordered like a 707, I'd flip through the pages and find out how to make it. But I had that college mentality where I thought the more alcohol in the drink, the better they'll like it. So often people would come back with their drink and say, could you put a little more club soda in here? I said, really, this is too strong. I said, okay, all right. I'm just trying to help you out.
Kevin, I have another thing. Is this your joke? I always know your jokes. But when you say...
You remember my jokes from the 80s. When you used to go to the
jokes. And I swear, I've seen a million comics. I don't know why yours I remember. But they're all funny. But when you say you had a lobster, you were cooking a lobster, and you went to cook it, and you said, tell me if I get this right. You go, I went to put it in the pot, but then I looked at it, a little face. I go, you know what? this is an animal and it does not deserve to die. So you know what I did? I got my car, I took it out to the woods, I let it go. Because you got to do the right thing sometimes.
Because you got to
Is
do
that
the
your
right
joke?
That's Kevin.
That's a good paraphrase of it. Yeah. I always thought it'd be funny to have a show where the comic's girlfriend or wife does their act. And they don't get it quite right, but they kind of paraphrase it, you know?
All my friends go, I could do your act. I go, it's so intricate and complicated. I dare you. And then they do it exactly. I go, oh.
Well, the trajectory, the evolution of the wife/girlfriend is initially she's kind of pretty much in the front row watching your act. Then she's midway back. Then she's standing in the back. Then she's in the green. Then she's in the green room during your act. And then she'll meet you after. And finally, she's just at home where you've been.
She stays home. Yeah. Going, how was it?
Did you guys like going to the after parties on Saturday Night Live?
God, you're so wired. I was never really in it enough to be wired, but I would get energy from doing the good nights and waving good night. So, and then they'd hand. You remember this? Marcy was always scared because too many people would figure out the party. So you'd get
Marcy
a little
Klein
ticket.
was Lauren's assistant.
Yeah. You get a ticket. She'd walk by and hand you a ticket like right before air or something. Like that's what you were thinking about, but I was. And then they go, hey, the party's going to be here. It's going to be here. It's me. And so you'd have this. And then after the show, you'd get a limo. That guy Max would be out there and go, Spade, you want to go with Farley? Yeah. You want to go with Timmy Meadows? And they'd try to double us up because we weren't the big stars, but you guys would get your own limo and it'd get you to the party. And then they would get you home. And then the party was always so late. I think it's a big status thing now, but man, to wait, if you're not on the show, to sit there and wait till 1 to go to the party, which is more like 1:30, that's a late night.
I would opt not to go to the after party because I was so exhausted from the show. And I wanted to be able to get up in the morning on Sunday and enjoy my one day off. But I always had guests coming in that they wanted to go to the after party.
Oh, they have to. Yeah, that's the whole
thing. It's not even really a party. It's just everybody's at the same restaurant. You get your own table. You get your own bill.
Food, yeah.
You know, the
you get a bill.
For it. Yeah, you pay for all your guests and your friends. And and then, you know, everyone's at their own table and there's just a lot of gawkers.
And you'd walk around and the host would like to say hello to you. But Kevin, I don't know if I'm right about this, but the show was so in the doldrums when we got on. Cars were not provided to go to the party. So you, me, and Dennis would be out. It'd be like snowing, and we'd be trying to get a cab to go to the party. I don't know when cars came in, but we did not have cars, at least in those first few shows.
I love it.
We only had an 8-show pickup. Dynamite told us we had 8 shows. So if we don't hit the ground running, we're out here by Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah, we were living out of our cars. And we even shared an office together, you and me.
Kevin and I shared an office that was very humble, very small. And we would sit in there for hours trying to riff, especially when Hans and Franz came. We would go, and really, we got so silly. I mean, you're so tired and stressed out. Sometimes I'd put on music on a boombox, and you, me, Victoria, and Dennis would just dance around in there, right? Just because of the stress.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I remember like Sandler and Farley and you too, Spade. Didn't you guys have an office on the other side by the writer's room next to Chris Rock's?
We had Herb Sargent's old Update office. So it was like that corner.
Yeah, it was like a frat house in there. I'd go in there. There'd be like Playboy magazines everywhere, pizza boxes on the floor. And then you go into Rock's office and it was like pristine. He had like Malcolm X posters, Martin Luther King, all kinds of African-American culture books on this, and just spotless.
We're just all idiots because Farley would wipe his butt with the USA Today. You know, one time I was going to the rap party and they said, and they go, hey, and then I see Norm on Monday. I think you guys overlap with Norm. And I go, Norm, I didn't see you at the party. He goes, no. I go, well, I saw you get in a limo. I went to Atlantic City. Why? To gamble. Like I'm the asshole. To gamble. I go, oh, well, sorry. I don't know. I thought those are for the party. The poor limo driver's going, keep going straight. Sir, we're about 30 minutes away from the party. I think it's at Ollie's.
Every week he'd surprise the limo driver. Atlantic City.
I
know. And the guy goes, oh, fuck, I get Norm. I'm going to be back tomorrow.
Lovitz was telling me a story where, or somebody was telling me about how Lovitz loaned Norm a couple $100, like $200 to gamble. And the next day, Norm didn't pay him back. And they were touring somewhere together. And then the next day he asked him again. He goes, Norm, you got the $200? And he kept asking him. And then after a week, after he asked him, Norm goes, you only lost $200. I lost $5,000. What are you complaining about?
It was $8,000. Why are you writing me for? I lost like $8,000.
You only lost 200.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be.
Yeah. Yeah. But,
go ahead.
But, I was there for 9 years. So I worked with a lot of different people. I saw, Spade came in, and then Mike Myers, Farley, Tim Meadows, everybody. I mean, it was, and then we got a lot of those wild cards, like Michael McKean and Chris Elliott, and Janine Garofalo and Sarah Silverman,
McKinney,
Stiller, Mark McKinney. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Ben Stiller, who lived in the Bromley as well during that time.
He did?
Yeah.
Fucking Bromley.
And he got let go from the show, and I was doing very well in the show, and I'd run into him in the elevator. I go, how are you okay? And he was, went on. The guys who get fired or don't get hired for the show seem to do extremely well. Jim Carrey, Ben Stiller.
Jim Carrey was on the show?
No, but he didn't get hired.
He auditioned.
Oh, right.
He auditioned with us,
We should have Jim on just to talk about how he didn't get it.
That audition, he destroyed. I mean, I
think most people got fired from that show.
Yeah, I didn't know Farley and Sandler got fired.
Yeah, I mean, the year I left, Sandler and was it Farley both got fired?
Yeah, I didn't even know that for fucking 20 years because they're both doing so well. I didn't know that there was any friction. I don't think there was. I think
the idea is that they wanted to come back and were told no.
That's so weird. It's so weird. They're both huge stars.
And I was kind of forced out of there too. There wasn't much future for me in there.
Were you bum rushed out?
I knew that was my last year that they'd have me, but luckily I got a sitcom with DreamWorks with Spielberg, so I had something to go to after that.
It was called
what was
something
it called?
Hiller and Diller.
It was called Pushed Out the Door. Was the working title?
Kevin, you've done a lot of Sandler movies. Which one do people know you from the most? Do you think?
Mostly Happy Gilmore and Grandma's Boy, even though he wasn't in that one.
What was the one where you had, was it Just Go With It? You had plastic surgery. You looked hilarious. Yeah. That was pretty fun. Was that a lot of makeup?
It was 4 hours in the makeup chair, and they only used one day. I did like three or 4 days of sitting in that chair, but they only used one day of my shooting. But the most fun I had was doing Blended, where we shot in South Africa.
Oh yeah, I saw that
for 2 months. So we went on safaris and everything. It was cool. Yeah, I've done like 13 Sandler films.
Seriously? 13. So you've done 10% of his films. Every time I'm in a Sandler movie, it's a terrible, terrible bomb. I was in Little Nicky. And then I was in Jack and Jill. Those are the only, so I should never be in another Sandler film. Both very funny. Adam doing his thing, but
I'm from the South, the deep South. Kevin, I have a question for you. Oh, first of all, back to us. I got two, but bathroom attendant. I was there for. I thought that was one of the that sketch was fucking killed if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that was with Harvey Keitel. That's one of my favorite sketches I wrote on that show. And there's a thing I have about bathroom attendants. It just seems so unnecessary, to have a bathroom attendant to dry your hands and to give you, and then have candy on the counter. Because, once you go to the bathroom, you immediately want to refill your supply,
I always give him $10 and go, if anyone asks, I wash my hands. And he's like,
so I've always kind of had that little thing about bathroom attendants. So I finally wrote up this sketch about a bathroom attendant in a very small bathroom with just one toilet.
That was the tiniest set too. That was funny. Yeah. And Keitel was great. That was good. It was perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was into it. He fucking loved it.
Yeah, he did. And then Farley comes in at the end, like he's my regular customer.
Oh, what a great way to get out. Yeah.
Who helped me with that was Mike Shoemaker, who was one of the associate producers at the time. Or at the time, I think it was maybe just, I don't know, a PA or something. I'm not sure. But yeah, he kind of had a lot of good little ideas for it.
Yeah, he still works at Seth. He has a big job over there. And it says you went to Sacred Heart. These are my two last things. You went to Sacred Heart, and I don't really care about that, but you Sacred Heart as comedians, because we're all like in the comedy biz. That was one where I was doing gigs, on weekends at SNL. I went from getting $3,000 a night. I think I maybe got up to 5 a night. But they go, take a car. I think that's drivable, right, Kevin? Is that far drivable?
Yeah, it's like an hour and 15 from New York.
So they go do 45 to an hour, right? Which was kind of a tough swing because I was not really even a headliner when I got hired. I was pretty solid middle, but you know, sometimes they make a middle do 35. I go, get fucked. I would do 25 maybe. But anyway, so I do, I go to headline. I've got about 50, 55, and I'm like, shit, this is going to be tough, but I gots to do it because I'm getting the dinero. So I go all the way there. Yeah, so I go to Sacred Heart. I remember this name. And they're all sitting on like a fireplace or something. And schools are great. They have extra money. They hire you to come in. But I haven't really caught fire or anything. I'm just like a comedian. They don't really know me. So I'm just like, I go and they're all like sitting cross-legged on the floor. I think I remember this right. Maybe 200 kids. So you guys all been here. So I'm doing my fucking act. It's bombing ferociously. And I'm buzzing through it. You know what I mean? Because I'm not doing well. And I know they don't want me there. But I'm like, blah, blah. And this is my big lesson in comedy. So I do it and I buzz through everything. But I did 43. And all I had to do was go like, hey, where's this guy from? You know, not even a closer, just some conversation and then get off. But I leave and the guy goes, up. He wouldn't pay me. He goes, you did 43. You're supposed to do 45. And I go, and he had me. That's a contract thing because you can't say you bombed because that's subjective, but you can say you didn't fulfill your contract. So I left without a check. And then Gervitz called him and yelled at him and they finally paid me.
The funny part
That's the thing, man.
Go ahead.
When you go somewhere, if you're traveling far, you want to come home with a check. One time I worked with Bill Maher and Tommy Davidson up in Rochester or Buffalo, New York. We had to fly from New York in I did on a little prop plane. Yeah. I got there and I got really sick before the show. I had some kind of a stomach bug. And I only felt good if I laid on a cot backstage. And Bill Maher did his set, Tommy Davidson did his set, and I didn't want to go home without getting paid. Mm-hmm. So I asked the stage manager if he would put the cot out on the stage and I could lay on the cot and do my act from the cot on my side. And that's what I did. I did it. And I told the people I was depressed. I said, I'm just so depressed. I got to lay down. I did my act, and they were dying. They were loving it. And occasionally I try to get up and do my act. And I felt bad again, like I was going to throw up. So I had to I said, I'm depressed again. I got to lay down. So well that I started taking that cot with me to gigs.
How was your new one?
It never worked as well as that when it was real.
I once had one where I was chewing gum for some silly reason. Never chew gum before you do stand-up. And now please welcome Packed House. And then I bit my tongue. And it was bleeding the whole set. I was just swallowing blood and trying to smile. My teeth were kind of smeared with blood.
Sickening. Kip Adada pooped his pants. You ever hear that one?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was famous. A lot of comedians shit their pants.
Poor Kip Adada. That's all we remember his whole act.
Did you ever have a thing where you hadn't done stand-up in a while, but you're on Saturday Night Live, and then they're paying you a lot of money, and you do what you think is your whole hour, but it's like 32 minutes?
Yeah, of course.
Because you're just so out of shape. You go so fast, and you're just like, oh, my God. That's why I always had the guitar, so I could just goof around on that.
And you forget chunks. I remember doing my act after I haven't done it for a while, and I'm like, that used to kill. And someone goes, you didn't even do the middle of it. And I go, huh? Because you forget. You're like, how does this track? And that's why it's almost like a play where you have to, every line is important if it's well written. Every line makes sense and it's economized to where you have to do it a certain way. You can kind of riff off that, but you have to get the basics down. And if you don't lay the groundwork, one joke was so stupid. I think I was saying there was no traffic today, but everything was based on there was traffic. And so I just said one word wrong and then nothing worked. And then later, someone goes, you said the opposite. I go, I did? And then it makes sense. You go, oh, you can't figure it out.
Who's critiquing you always afterward? They're just someone
There's always someone there, the court stenographer going, well, tonight, I know you thought you did well.
A lot of that has to do with nerves, too. Like when you're starting out, you kind of do that. You forget stuff. That's why I love doing the warm-ups on SNL, because it took some of the stress away from me and anxiety, because I was already like, I met the audience and they've seen me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not coming out kind of like, all brand new and,
Oh, I had to do that
they're
sometimes.
judging me.
I think I don't know if I was assigned it from you, but after you, but it was hard because Marcy's like, get out there. I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm getting ready for a sketch. So I got to go up
Get
and
out
do
there.
like 5 or 10 minutes because we were new. So she would always like rough us up. Get out there. Lauren's mad at you, and then walk away. I go, what? So
Lauren's always mad.
I know, Lauren. It's the easiest thing. What about when Lauren would walk around the set with his amp still light and a glass, and he'd just walk around in between, like during a commercial, and you're like, get out of here, like, because it's too nerve wracking already. And
I
he's
know.
like,
And he'd say stuff.
maybe kill.
We were doing something with Danny DeVito. I can't remember. I think Kevin was in it. And Lauren, during the commercial break, goes, this has to breathe. It was just kind of those sort of notes.
Whatever that means.
And he always would say, this is just Lauren's sense of humor. You'd walk down the hallway and he'd say, still with the show was another one.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But I thought it was funny.
I would try to huddle up with him by the monitor. Hey, Lauren, what's up? Sometimes they go, Lauren wants to talk to you right after Gap Girls. And I'd be summoned to the monitor, during the commercial. And it's really loud. They're playing the band. He's like, I think the ending, you could do this. He's like, that's how it works. They give notes and they do it right there while it's fresh in his brain. And then you have to go wait to see if it even gets picked for air. That was dress rehearsal, I should clarify. And then you've got your notes going, I know what to do if it stays in the show.
Yeah.
You change, you tighten it and you go, hey, I made it shorter, like selling it, like
Yeah.
it won't take up much room. So you can still put it on, and then.
You guys ever visit? You ever go up there and visit?
I've just been there. If I did Fallon, then usually I'd see Lauren and then maybe do something on the show. But yeah, you just.
I used to go up there. To visit, say hi to Lauren if I was playing at Caroline's or something.
Yeah.
But the last few times I went, it was really difficult because Lauren was so busy because there was other people that were visiting him, like Paul Rudd and Tom Hanks, and they're all around the monitor. And it's like you don't even exist,
Yeah.
A lot of people go around that monitor. I went in and did a church lady on Update. This was pre-pandemic. And then I walked around the monitor and I saw 2 people going, wow, that was awesome, clapping. And I just kept walking and they go, hey, that was Jay-Z and Beyonce. Oh. Okay.
Well, Will Forte summed it up. He goes, you never feel less needed when you go back to SNL now. It's like you're almost invisible,
You're of no use anymore. I remember when I finished my high school track career and the coach was so indifferent toward me. I did my last race and I kind of wanted to talk about the experience. I go, see you later.
Yeah.
You're just sort of done. And
you've been squeezed dry.
I've had other cast members email me who've left, like Fred Armisen, basically saying, well, how do I deal with this? The emotional hangover of it, and then watching and seeing people doing your job. And in some cases doing it a lot better.
Without a beat,
you never totally get over doing that show. Nobody does. On some level, you either have a dream about it or think about it. It's too intense. Don't you guys think? I mean, it's always somewhere.
When I left that show, I couldn't imagine something superseding that as far as being notable. I always wondered, I wonder if I'll ever do anything that's kind of as notable as that show was.
And live and weird. And
doing a movie and then it waits a year to come out. It takes 6 months to get it together. Then you shoot it and everyone's like, where have you been? One guy,
for me, Weeds came along and that was something that people really liked. And it was a different kind of a feeling than SNL, but it was fulfilling for me.
Yeah.
And it was a very acclaimed show.
This Uber driver goes, hey, it's like about a year or two ago. He goes, this is how bad showbiz is. He goes, hey, what about that guy, Chris Pratt? You never see him anymore. What happened to him? I go, Chris Pratt? I think he was in Jurassic World and that other one with the fucking raccoon. Those are 2 of the biggest movies in history. He's like, yeah, but what else? He hadn't been anything lately. I go, it was this year. I go, what the fuck have I done? Jesus. He's like, yeah, we haven't done shit. But people, if they didn't see your movie you did once, you did one movie, like I did Wrong Missy. then if they miss that, then it's such a chunk of movies they haven't seen. Like it's such a gap because it takes a year to get it together. Then you shoot it. Then it waits to come out. Then you try to get another one. So everyone's always like, "What? You got any movies coming out?" It's like the most question I get asked the most. And then if you tell them, they go, "Oh yeah, what else?"
Well,
go,
no one knows what anyone's
you?
doing. You can make stuff up. I was doing that with Mark Pitta would open for me, the comedian Mark Pitta in Vegas. This was even like 8 years ago. And we would make up. He had just starred in the sort of the Blackjack Network. He starred in I've Had Just About Enough of You. And he'd get a big applause like he's a star. Nobody knows what anyone's doing. No one sees anything.
They just want to... I just want to drop things in deadline that I'm starting and then never do them. Just have people go, "Hey, I heard you got a lot of shit going on."
Spade, you should ask that Uber driver. Where have you been driving lately? I haven't seen you driving anywhere.
No, I've been all over Los Angeles.
They never get that. I always like when you're jealous, like if your wife sees someone on TV, that guy's really handsome or whatever, or it's Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt or something. You know, the kind of thing you would say is like, I don't get it. You know, I don't get it. You know, or like a great comic, like any great comedian. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't really get it. You know, but what are you going to do?
You know what? That stuff works. And you go, and they're like, "What do you mean that stuff?" No, that kind of comedy, that'll always work.
Yeah, comedy's very subjective, you know.
I had the stage hand in the wings right before I went out. "Hey, Mr. Carvey, last week we had Sinbad. Let me tell you something. That guy killed harder than any fucking comedian. He had the crowd in the palm of his hand, and he was doing all these jokes about local establishments and highways, and they went fucking nuts." Don't you love to hear that right before you go out?
Yeah, right. I actually followed Sinbad and I couldn't. He killed so hard, and I was like, I'll just kind of beep bop up there. And I was like, I was starting to get nervous, going, "Oh, he's really killing," because it was a corporate gig, and he knew everything about the corporation. He's like, according to Section 42, and everyone's like, "Wah!" I go, "God damn!"
But Spade, what has he done lately? I haven't seen him around. You know what I mean? What's he been doing? You know, he's just kind of disappeared. You know,
he goes, "You know, when you wear your underpants so much."
On the Guys and Dolls Network. The Guys and Dolls Network. He's huge. He's a primetime.
Actually, Dennis goes, "I did Star Search. I'm up against Sinbad. I'm doing my best fucking joke." Sinbad walks up after me and goes, "You ever wear your underpants so many times it's just a rubber band?" 4 stars.
Sometimes I watch movies with my son.
It's true. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's 14.
He's like, Spade, I wasn't sure if you were talking to me or if you had indigestion right there.
I'm just talking to off camera to people.
Oh,
go ahead.
Well, sometimes I watch movies with my son. He's 14, and we'll be watching a movie, and he'll go, "Is that guy still alive? That actor? Is that actor still alive?" I go, "Yeah, that's Sandler. That's Adam Sandler." And then he goes, "What about that guy next to him?" I said, "That's me. That's me. I'm still alive."
So, Kevin, I asked David this a couple weeks ago, and I said, when you're watching TV and you're kind of bored, do you ever check the age of the actor and their net worth? And he doesn't. Have you ever checked the age of the actor or the net worth while you're watching a show?
I check the age sometimes, but like the last person I did that to was, what's his name? The guy from Jaws, the older
Robert Shaw.
Yeah, Robert Shaw. Because I remember as a kid watching that movie, he looked so old. And then I checked his age. He was like 46 or something like that.
Yeah, that's
in that movie.
Or 45, yeah.
Wow.
And he died. Yeah. He died in Ireland. He was driving with his wife and kid, and he didn't feel good. He got out of the car and he had a heart attack on the street at 47.
Whoa!
Well, should we end on that?
But so I checked his age
Shark
when he
going
did
to
Jaws.
water,
You know,
put it on the side of the road. They put it me over, do me CPR.
Jaws, what a great.
You'll be pressing on me cavity. Kevin Nealon.
I checked the age of the Disney kids when they're doing the movies. I said, "How old is that kid making all that money?"
I looked.
Do you know how old Nemo
Grammer.
was? Nemo was just a child actor.
Yeah, he was, and then he. But you know what? There's a lot of fish in the sea.
Dory was. I don't know. Forget it. This bit's bombing. Anyway, Kevin, I got to jump off.
Kevin,
you and Danny can go on for a couple.
We've tortured
you. We got a million things
We've
going.
tortured you enough.
It's going to take a long time to unpack this show and figure out what happened.
Yeah, we got to edit this down.
We can edit that shit out of this, man. I had
what is it, like 5 minutes. Is it a 5-minute show?
Kevin, we're going to get you a copy of this.
Hang on a second, guys. What is it, Marcy? Marcy says I need to do warm-ups. for the show.
You got to get going and do warm-ups.
Yeah,
Lauren wants
yeah.
you. Lauren's
We
mad
are
at you.
going to have Marcy Klein as a guest on this
Yeah,
show
for
because
sure.
she is the linchpin
Definitely.
of a lot of the era of
She
Saturday
knows
Night Live.
stories.
She was the mother, the dog. She was everything. She was behind the scenes, above the scenes. So yeah, she's got a lot of great stories.
All right, Kevin. Thanks, buddy. Good
Oh, wait a
talking
minute.
to you.
I got a great story for you guys.
Oh boy. Go ahead. Oh, he hung up.
Okay, that was the hook.
Oh, good
That's
one.
a funny.
Yeah.
That's funny shtick.
Hey, what's up, flies? What's up, fleas? What's up, people that listen? We want to hear from you and your dumb questions.
Questions? Ask us anything. Anything you want.
You can email us at flyonthewall@cadence13.com. Hey, everybody. Spade here. I apologize for looking badass. I just threw this coat on because it was 95 today, and I want to look cool. But listen, I get a lot of questions. Dana and I both do. I'll answer this one. Norm Macdonald, obviously big in the folklore of SNL and how great he was and blah, blah, blah. We all know about Norm, and a lot of the questions are any Norm Macdonald stories. Obviously, we have hundreds. One of the ones I like is when we would text, he's like a child. You know, he's nothing normal about him, so it's infuriating. And he would text in the middle of nowhere. He was a big-time canceller of plans, one of the all-time greats. And also with the shenanigans you have to put up with. So let's say he texts me, David, what are you doing? And then I answer, I go, oh, hey, Norm, what's going on? And then he waits about 2 weeks. Then he goes, hello? David, don't you like me anymore? And I go, Norm, I did answer you. What do you need? Do you want to meet up? Do you want to go eat? And then about 4 a.m, David, why do you hate me? And then it would go into this one. Do you like money? And I go, yes. David, would you like to win money beyond your wildest dreams? No, he didn't say win. He goes, would you want more money than you could ever count? And I go, of course I would. And then like 4 days later, David, are you still thinking about the money? And I go, I am. And he goes, if you really like it, I'll tell you how you can get it. And I go, please. And then about 3 days later, he says, bet the under on the Chicago Blackhawks in the first period. First of all, how much am I betting where I'm going to win money beyond my wildest dreams? Do I have to bet $1 trillion? I said, I'll put a nickel on it. Sounds like gambling talk. I don't even know what it means. But that he would do that and then he'd pee in a bottle. But Norm was, there's too many Norm stories that are too funny. But he's always like this. He's very stiff. Ah! You ask him any normal question, he answers it like it's crazy. Me and him and Dennis Miller did a gig right before the Corona. All of us 3 crazy people. And he goes, David, when's the show? I go, 8. He goes, what? I go, Norm, there isn't a more typical showtime in the world than 8. If it was 7:45, you could say that. If it was 8:01, you could say that. You can't say it at 8. And then if you tell him any real news, like, oh my God, Russia just invaded LA, he goes, oh yeah, when? That doesn't shock you? They invaded LA? They dropped a bomb in LA today? You're supposed to go, what? That's when you say, what? He's got it all mixed up. Anyway, Norm's great. We do miss him. Thank you for the question. This has been a podcast presentation of Cadence 13. Please listen, then rate, review, and follow all episodes. Available now for free wherever you get your podcast.
No joke, folks. Fly on the Wall has been a presentation of Cadence 13. Executive produced by Dana Carvey and David Spade, Chris Corcoran of Cadence 13, and Charlie Finan of Brillstein Entertainment.
The show's lead producer is Greg Holtzman with production and engineering support from Serena Regan and Chris Basil of Cadence 13.
All right.
Dana,
I know this
shit.
is weird. We've done this a long time. But could I get a selfie? Just a picture of you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, your best look. Okay, show them what that look is, and then look back at me.
You
Great.
poked it pretty hard. You got it?
Yeah. Well, I had to
Jeez.
mime it.
Oh, yeah.
It's comedy shtick. Well, here we are. You can see our whole bodies. It's not an illusion. Or it's not. Are we dreamboats? No. Are we? Have we been on a boat?
At least we're not the same person that everyone accuses us of.
Yeah.
I was going through the comments, Dana, and just blocking people. And no, I didn't.
I go through other podcast comments and pretend they're about me.
I compare comments of other YouTubes and go, oh, the people hated them. They're pretty nice to us. That's good.
My wife leads a little comment sheet, that types it out every day. So I get comments on how I was the day
she does on the fridge?
Yeah, it's like comments, it's called. It's just
about your performance and said, that one guy looks stupid. And you're like, was that about me, honey? That's funny. So Dana, I was on the road. I know you were on the road by my stories about the, what's the tour called? I got a feel for it.
Yeah.
So I was on the tour. It just started. We did New Jersey. And we did Boston.
Okay.
And then and I got some coming up in Omaha, Des Moines, and what? St. Louis. Oh, that'll be good.
God.
Home of Nikki Glaser. I know it is a fucking grind. And America, I'm the biggest pussy, so please come out because to get on stage, to limp on stage after all the travel.
I know.
Is like,
for the love of God.
Do you want me to still do my act? I just want to get there and touch the mic and go, I did it. Let's go. But when I hear the roar of the crowd.
You've been everywhere, man.
So here's what happens, Dana.
All right, so
you would blow your brains
town?
out.
Or which flight?
The hike, Heather went on this one. I was with Dan Levy, Catherine Blanford. Heather went to just sort of supervise the children. So we go all the way out there. We get one of these first class, right? But they kind of, planes more not. I should have checked with you. It's not the one that they say it's like a little small apartment.
Well, no, it's domestic.
Yeah.
So it's very rarely a wide body. Do you know the difference between a wide body and a narrow body?
Is it a 737?
It's 2 and 2, not 2, 3 and 2. Seats, that is.
Wait, so it's 2 on the outside, 3 in the middle?
Can be,
wide body?
Can be, depending on how they configure it. So you're probably on a Max, one of those ones that tend to go, but it's all right. Super Max.
Super Crash. So I went on and I was in first because sometimes I do coach, sometimes I do first. This lingo
goes to sleep.
I did. No, this leg I sit in first, but it was so squinchy. I couldn't really camp out in there. It was pretty basic. So it's just 8 hours of reading Us magazine. And my monitor was on the fritz, my TV. They're like, oh yeah. And I go, and my Wi-Fi doesn't work. So I'm really raw dogging it. How long can I read the barf bag?
Well, I have a fear of flying, and what's great is on some flights I try to get on the Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
and I try for like 4 hours.
That's the first
and
half
we'll be
of your
landing
flight.
Shortly, and all I did the entire flight was try to get the Wi-Fi.
More like Tri-Fi. When I get on it, it goes credit card. This isn't your thing didn't match, and I'm like, and they're like, we're almost there, folks. I'm like, yeah, I haven't
You're wrestling with a robot. I mean, I want to give them my money.
No, here's the thing. The Wi-Fi works when you sign up for it and you pay. Oh, it works perfectly. Then suddenly it's on the fritz. Then it can't do anything. I'm like, how did the money get there so fast?
Well,
How did that work?
I don't get on Wi-Fi when I want to pay. Is what I'm trying to say. Anyway,
I'm saying I pay for it and then it won't go through. After that.
I know that's the worst. Okay, that's the double worst.
Yeah, I'm rat fucked.
So you made it.
So there I am. There I am in beautiful New Jersey. So I walk around, do a few bits, on the street just to warm up.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Say
show's
hello.
fun. Great crowd. Next day, this is where it gets complex, Dana. Stay close.
I'm listening.
I have to take a ghetto little puddle jumper to go. It's only like a 39-minute flight, right? So it's
a puddle jumper?
Well, like a smaller plane. You'd hate it. You'd hate it.
I've been on every plane.
It's not props, but it's a little skinny one. And now I go, it'll be fun if we're on coach together, jam together. So I get on and they go, oh, you should get on first. Let's get on first. Bad idea. You get on first to give so you have luggage room.
Right.
You've never been in coach. I should have showed. I should have
I
taken
started
pictures.
out
for you.
in coach for years.
Oh, you've been there. You remember.
Yes.
So I get my bags up. Now I'm squinched, and now we start the taxi. I have a show that night, so you get a little itchy. Like, let's go. Let's taxi. Let's get this thing.
Right,
going.
right.
So I'm like, are we driving there? I'm like, hey, there's the airport. Oh, no, we're driving over here.
Taxiing.
We're taxiing for 1 hour. You would have
really
flipped.
1 hour?
Yep. And then we're sitting there, and I'm like, everyone closes their window on the plane. That's a new thing. Open. I want to see where I am in the world. Oh, we're still on the runway. We're about 5 feet from the gate. And then after an hour, and people are, they're putting their stuff in their butts in my face. I'm like, I don't really care about coach. This one was so tight and so these tight butts in front of me. So I go, okay. And then they go, hey, it's your captain. We got a little snafu up. What? Snafu up here.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, we got 9 computers and 8 of them are working, but the other one, I go, go for it. I'm like, I don't care. 8's fine. I don't know what the 9th one does. I'm gambling. It doesn't do a lot. But if we got 8 that are pumping it out, working hard. And so he goes, we're just going to go back to the gate and check it out. Back to the gate.
Oh, that's a real
And
groaner.
you're fucked when he goes, actually, we're going to have you grab your stuff and get off the plane just while we figure this out.
Well, that's better because sometimes you sit on the plane. Maintenance is going to check it out. So you see a guy in an orange jumpsuit with a wrench, goes into the cockpit, comes out. He's sweating and he's shaking his head like this as he walks out.
And he goes, get off.
Not giving a lot of confidence.
He's got
I don't know,
socket
man.
wrench. He's going, is it righty, tighty, lefty, loosey?
I don't know, man.
So I get off and I feel better that I'm off, but I go, we got to rent a car and go. We got to just go. Because my flights, I got to get to Boston. I cannot disappoint my
You went for the
fans.
car thing.
So we start calling a car, and then they go, well, it looks like we found a plane. We're going to get on in a half hour. I go, it's cutting it close. And then they go, well, our plane's, it's leaving from Charlotte soon. I'm like, oh, so it's not here. So what was that story? So we see a pilot, and we go, dude, cut the bullshit. Give it to me right down the middle. Is this plane going to take off or should I get in that car? He goes, I'm one of the pilots. They usually, if they say a plane's coming, we're going. I'm like, okay, because our window's closed now for a car. So we wait. About an hour later, they load us up. Hour of taxiing. Get there, beep, bop, boop, bop, bop, beep. This and that and this.
Mm-hmm.
Run on stage, crush, kill,
crush,
kill,
crush,
crush.
kill. Standing O, standing O, standing O.
sit
Kill,
down,
kill,
stand
crush,
up again,
ovation.
jumping
Kill,
jacks.
kill,
Okay,
standing O.
everyone's shooting off bottle rockets, Roman candles. Anyway, great show, worked out. And that's a story that could have been 20 seconds.
I have a 20-second one. So my wife and I are in Paris, metaphorical cigar. We don't travel ever. And we're going on an A380. It's like basically a shopping mall with wings. It's so huge. And they drive you out in this car and they're playing music. And we go up on the gangway and it's French. It's Air France. So guys like Maurice Chevalier, for you older folks, he's just a charming French guy, and he meets us. We are pretty much probably going to take off, but right now we have a maintenance problem. So I suggest you go back to your lounge and come later. So guess what? They fixed it. We went, and I was not happy on the climb out.
The climb out. Is that when you leave and go like that?
Well, once the first 20 seconds are the most dangerous part of a flight. So you just wait. If you go to 2 minutes, the odds go to 20 million to 1. So I just allow myself to be nervous.
After how long? 2 minutes?
I allow myself to be nervous for 2 minutes. I count from 1 to 120 back to 0. And then I just go, fuck it. Yeah. And then this is before I go to the airport though. Sorry. Good night. Boom!
But that's it. So I did that, got back. My voice was a little low, and we had Larry David today, and I go, he better not think I'm sick. He will flip the fuck out. I'm not sick, guy. It's called being super fucking tough. That's what
he does. I don't think he's phobic because afterwards he was so great. I just spit my palm in front of him. Put it there, pal.
Yeah, I saw
and he
that.
did.
Yeah.
It's a big handshake.
He wanted to wrestle out there. I'm like, wrestle? I don't wrestle. He's like, no, just grapple around a little bit, take our shirts off. I go,
he gave me the whiskers like my dad. He got on top of me and he's like rubbing it.
oh, that's fun. You know what the most embarrassing part of that is when you get a boner and you're like,
this did not happen
Aren't you
with
my
our
dad?
friend Larry David.
No,
it didn't happen. This is Jerry Seinfeld coming into Superflight just to say, no.
he was great though. But he's on Fly on the Wall right now.
He's literally on as we speak. He's on there, and he was. He had two.
A purple nurple.
He had 2 tomato boom booms at the Desperate Sponge. I've done these Carson things for the last 3 years.
It's working.
I've got Desperate Sponge, and I have not been able to beat it. But I have one I'm going to try right now in Superfly that doesn't beat it, but for some reason it really makes me laugh. I had 2 double daiquiris at Banana Dan's.
At the prickly porcupine.
Banana Dan's is funny, right?
I know, that's a quicker one.
Because Aaron...
No, it's funny.
I'm sorry.
Listen, by the way, it sounds chaotic, but we have our buds coming in here to jump in and join for the news. Because I'm more amazed, even though our stories are dumb, I'm more amazed we're both sitting here and we get to show our whole hands and body. It's fun.
Right. We're showing our legs, feet, hands.
You get to see the Carrie Underwood calves I got going on here.
I'll just say it. Gap, Brooks.
Oh, yeah.
Dana,
Dana,
10
what
years
are you wearing?
old, 10 years old, or Banana Republic.
Cords.
Banana Republic, stolen, Levi.
Whole outfit,
How much
$39.
is this little cutie? Whoops.
Ooh, don't give yourself LASIK with the glare.
Don't be jealous. It's solid gold with a solid diamond arm.
It's a Rolex.
Whoops.
No, I have one good watch, and our mystery guest is coming down the stairs. One of our old buddies.
Oh, this is fun. We do have a mystery guest.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're not going to advertise. We've not advertised our guest, and
I don't think
she
so.
it is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no, Carol
You
Channing
might
will
recognize
be
him
here in a
from
minute.
the title. Yeah, as we stare at the door now like 2 puppies.
Brooke Shields is.
Oh, we got to get Brooke Shields on.
She's great. I flew with her once.
I hear Heather
Thanks, Mr.
yapping in the
Guest.
hallway.
It's our mystery guest.
Hey,
Interesting.
we're going, Kev. So just come sit down or whatever.
It's just
your name is.
rolling. You're just walking into television. Careful.
This is like the Tonight Show. Let's bring out our first guest. Hey, good to see you, bud.
There it is. Kevin Nealon.
I brought you guys a little gift.
Oh my God, that's the first time anyone brought us something.
Whoa!
Good job, Gilligan. Anyone try these fucking chairs?
I said Kevin is a properly sized
One
man.
for one.
I told him to give you space. And
They got a
didn't listen
fucking
to me.
box of groceries for some reason over there. All right, you're fine. So what is this stuff? Let me see.
That is, it's little cream puffs.
Dana, I'm a little bit of a spendy Susie, if you know what I mean.
A boozy Susie and a spendy Susie.
Yeah, I'm more of a boozy Susie, but yeah.
You are a spendy spender. Yeah.
And a lot of our listeners are nice enough to write in and say, you look like you drank a lot and slept on your face. But that's just constructive criticism.
Well, it's very concise. And you don't really drink very much, I'll tell the fans. But
just puffy. This is where Klarna comes in. Klarna is your everyday smarter spending partner, which is what a lot of people need. A lot of my friends definitely need it. It allows you to make smarter decisions with your money. And it's sometimes good to have a partner like that.
And I'll say it again. Klarna, which I assume is Swedish. Klarna is your smarter everyday spending partner.
Shoppers can use Klarna's Pay in 4 product to split their purchase into 4 interest-free payments.
That's right. Here's some key takeaways. Listen up, brother. Klarna offers a Pay in 4 product where you don't have to pay interest. I think that's a good thing.
You can pay with Klarna at merchant checkout, in the Klarna app, or with the Klarna card.
You can also compare prices at your favorite stores and earn cash back when you shop in the app.
They're making it effortless for in-app shoppers to get more value from every purchase. So choose Klarna at your favorite retailers or shop now at Klarna.com. CA resident loans made or arranged pursuant to a California finance law license. NMLS number 1353190.
Klarna, balance account required. Klarna may get a commission. Limitations, terms, and conditions apply.
They do.
I'm just gonna say it. It's a Klarna summer.
We just show clips from the internet and we'll see if
Right now, I would not join a modern-day hunting party of men because the question is 100 men versus one full-grown silverback gorilla.
No chance.
And there are people out there like this that are saying that 100 guys would win. And no, they wouldn't. I don't. No, just flat out no. A gorilla's skin, you can't bite through it. Their bones, somewhere between.
There goes
2
my
and 4
plan.
Learn
times
that
as
the
thick
hard
and dense
way.
as ours. Their hand, like their grip force, is something
Their
like
grip.
1,300
You can
pounds.
talk over.
That means
Could make
that
you
with
jizz
one
in 2
hand,
seconds.
They could
You know,
crush
if they
your
came at
skull.
them one
But
at a
dudes,
time,
this is what you're fighting.
they
When
wouldn't
stand
win.
up, they
The
are
gorilla would win.
6
But I think
feet
if they
tall.
all
They
jumped
weigh
on him at
about
the same time
400 pounds
and poked
on
his eyes
average.
out,
Yeah, I think that the
No.
trick is the eyes or the nuts.
I think if the gorilla just put its giant arms down and just sat back and went, "Go ahead, your best shot."
Yoda?
Sorry, substitute Yoda. How do you do a gorilla talking, Kevin?
well, here's what I would do.
Yeah,
I
what's
think
this?
Dave, you
All
were
you
onto
want.
something. Spotty was onto something. You take the balls and you shove them in the eye sockets. You cannot
Whoa,
see
co-
through balls. You cannot
That's
see through
true.
balls.
So
Which
then
is
he's
the name of my
blinded.
You
special.
can't
and
see
ready
through
to be
mine, I'll tell you
pummeled.
that.
What
Many
would
have
Hans and
tried.
Franz say about a gorilla?
Well, let me tell you something, Hans. There's no maths for us. You get us in the jungle and we just go ape crazy.
Ape shit, yeah.
Humans were not a primitive primate.
You don't need 100, you need 2. You two, Hans and Franz.
You have no.
How many guys would it take though to take down let's say a chipmunk? Let's start with a chipmunk.
Yeah. A
Say a
chipmunk,
ground
4
squirrel
guys.
first.
Yeah.
And then
No.
you work up. This guy, here's what would happen. You're right, Kevin. The strategy is I'd start with a push fight. Just let the gorilla get a feel for him,
Yeah.
Okay, he is pretty strong.
Yeah,
He's-
what are you looking
his
at?
skin is
What's your
Teflon.
problem?
Okay. And then I'd tell everyone else to go first because he's going to get winded. I mean, but if he's just plowing through guys, it's hard. You need everyone to go at once, like go, and then everyone grab an arm or something. But it's too tough.
Kevin?
It is too tough. Well, they say to get rid of a shark, you just punch him in the nose.
Yeah.
So maybe that works with a gorilla too.
Yeah.
You know what
How
I mean?
about this, guys?
I think we should try it.
1 foot or maybe 18 inches of water or maybe 2 feet of water, great white and a gorilla fighting in 2 feet of water.
Okay, I got the plan.
Where's Mr. Beast?
I got the plan right here.
He'll put this together. Go
I don't
ahead.
know why we didn't think about this earlier.
Yeah.
You have some kind of ether, and you put it over his nose and mouth and knock him out with the
Okay.
ether, with a bag of
Right.
a cloth
Yeah.
of ether, put it over,
Propofol.
and then he's out, and you just stomp on him, I guess.
I'd say 100 guys
Well, I
with,
think
all
that's
with
cheating.
chainsaws. 100 guys
What?
with chainsaws versus the gorilla.
I guess they're saying you can't use any kind of weapon.
Yeah,
I know,
I
but
would
this is-
think you don't even have
this
to
is-
say that.
Please, this is new rules. Okay, people.
Okay.
New rules. 100 guys with
Yeah.
chains. I can't. Sorry, Bill.
Okay.
Okay.
Is this worth it? Let me see. Mathematician who refused to accept.
A Fields Medal and the $1 million Clay Prize?
Yeah, he wins a prize and they give him $1 million.
That looks like Bill Hader in makeup, right?
What is $1 million clay prize?
I don't know. Play it. Let's see if
That's
it's
what
worth
we
the
wanna
shit.
know.
Oh, he's not interested in money or fame. I don't want to be on display like an animal at the zoo. I'm not a hero to mathematics. Oh, finally.
You were disturbing me. I'm picking mushrooms.
Oh, yeah. This guy's
So he
just out
gets a
fucking.
prize and he just rejects it? Is that
Yeah,
the
he's
whole...
old school. He's like, I just do math, dude. Get out. I'm not trying to be in Goodwill Hunting. over
Man,
here.
you have any? What are your favorite heroes of mathematics?
Oh, I've got a lot.
Oh, you got to start with Newton.
You got to start with Newton.
You
the
got to
list
start
is
with
in my
Newton.
car.
He is Isaac
Yeah.
Newton.
And if we knew another mathematician, we would say that's the next guy.
Einstein.
Karl Marx was an incredible at arithmetic.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and a great comedian too.
Yeah, he had an abacus. COVID much?
I'm okay. Thanks for running over.
Were
to
you
give me
good
the
at
Heimlich.
math in high school?
I was very good at
Spotty?
math.
You
yes.
were
This
good.
guy's a whiz kid.
Really?
I was a whiz kid, but
Yeah.
I got out of it. I think I hit a wall. Something stupid like geometry didn't click with me.
Yeah, yeah.
All my scholarships went down the drain.
That was the only one I was good at was geometry.
meet mop,
square
peg.
I like that the
Robot
best because
voice.
I'm good with pictures.
Oh yeah.
But there's numbers I'm not good with. Pictures, yeah.
Were you good at
Some-
multiple choice?
Yes, for the SAG.
Can I give you one?
Yeah.
Okay. What doesn't belong here? Apple, pear, banana, tank.
What kind of banana? Is it Chiquita? This is a trick question.
yeah, it is.
Is tank the name of a fruit?
Kevin was shocked when
I
he
knew you
said
had
if
something.
math was more pictures than numbers, he would have been great.
I would have.
Turns out
good
it's
with
so many.
pictures.
It's more numbers, I think.
What's your top 5 worries in just your personal life? Is climate change in the mix?
Kevin, is your number one worry you're set
COVID
at the
much?
improv?
My number one worry is that gorilla.
Yeah.
Is it if it's that gorilla they showed, I would be scared. But go ahead.
How about 1,000 men trying to take it down?
How about me taking on 100 gorillas and let's see what the fuck's
Now
going
you're
on?
talking.
How about
man. Now
one
you're talking.
gorilla
Yeah, now you're
takes
talking.
down 1,000?
Well, I think the top 5 worries. I think for everybody is, except for Spade, is
Health.
financial.
Financial.
Yeah, and then health,
Mhm. Right.
right? And
Yeah.
and then your car,
They always say invest wisely.
And then bags under your eyes.
bag
That's one of
eyes,
mine. That's one of mine.
and then any kind of
carpal
rash.
Thanks-
tunnel.
thanks,
carpal,
comments.
Carpal tunnel. Did you honestly? No joke. Did you sleep on your face last night?
Someone called me a pound puppy.
That's what people say. I'm sorry. I'm
Do
not
you know
being
those
mean.
old pound puppies? They have dogs with big, droopy, baggy eyes.
Yeah.
I'm going to Brad Pitt's guy, and I'm going to say, take a samurai, do whatever.
Do
I don't
you
care.
Mm-mm.
why Brad Pitt? Has he?
I don't think he just looks good. If anyone looks good, I want to.
do you use a CPAP machine at night?
Do I?
Yeah,
I do not. Do you want me to?
it's kind of fun.
What does it help?
It helps if you're snoring or if you wake up with sleep apnea, where you're
How do
gasping
you know
for
you
breath.
have it?
Oh, you'll wake up.
I do it. Yeah, I do that.
You wake up and you're gasping?
Yeah.
I do that.
Oh, what if you wake up and you're kind of like, that was a sexy dream? You don't have apnea, right?
No.
Have you ever waken up with a boner? Let's look at a clip.
Not mine.
That's me.
By the way, like these two guys, because we're just in here together, like Kevin's rhythm comedically and yours, just there's symmetry
Yes.
there. I mean,
yeah.
it's kind of nice.
But who came
You're
first?
different, but still.
Oh, Kevin.
By the way, we can mention it here, mention it later. Kevin is shooting a special
Yes.
at the Irvine Improv. Great room,
Great room.
incredible.
What are the
room.
dates?
The date's going to be May 10th. May
Oh,
10th, Saturday
perfect.
at the Urban Improv. And I,
Two shows.
Two shows,
times?
6 and 8:30.
Irvine Improv. Kevin
Tickets are
Nealon.
going very quickly.
Low ticket warning.
Low
ticket warning.
No, Irvine does fill up, and it's such a good comedy crowd.
They're really
Great
good.
comedy.
Yeah,
crowd.
people should
Yeah.
check this out because Kevin, I've been watching for years and years, and always guaranteed funny. I see you doing even practice sets at the Improv, killing.
Kevin Nealon is everybody's.
Yeah.
All the comedians know he's one of the all-time greats.
Everybody's friend's favorite comedian. Now, you know, they say that.
Mhm.
Nate Bargatze goes, I'm everyone's mother's favorite comedian.
Yeah, right.
Is
right.
this? Do you feel like you're at the top of your game coming in?
I'm at the top of my
like an
game.
athlete.
I'm at the top of my game,
Yep.
and it is downhill after this. I'll tell you that. But I'm telling you, I've been working a lot on the road lately,
Mhm.
and I gotta be honest with you, I'm kind of funny. I'm kind of
Oh,
funny.
you are.
Yeah, and I can't wait to do this. Actually, I'm really, I did other specials before, and I was kind of worried about it. And, do the
Yeah.
exact same thing each show.
Mhm.
But now I'm just going in. I'm having fun.
Yeah.
That's
It
all
is
it's
such a
about.
mind thing. If you
It is
just
a mind
go
thing.
with that. Let's keep talking.
Okay, keep talking.
So we're talking about Kevin's special. Tickets are going very, very fast.
Irvine Improv.
May 10th,
May
Irvine
10th, man,
Improv.
I'm so
and he's at the
excited.
top of his game.
Top of my game.
It is like an athletic thing.
Spotty, I got to tell you this.
Mhm.
I've been doing a lot of research on specials. I've talked to Dane about this, and I've been going on Netflix. By the way, there's like 1,000 specials on
Yeah.
Netflix, so I don't think there's specials anymore.
Right.
So I'm looking at different
There.
backdrops that people are using, to get an idea.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I came across yours, and I thought, well, let me hear what Spade does in his act in the beginning. Let me see how he gets into it. And you did a bit that was exactly a bit I was going to do in
Oh,
the beginning.
really?
Yeah, and I thought, oh my God, that was my coming out of the gate, get him on my side, and then I could just cruise for the rest of the show.
Okay.
You can still do
And
it.
what is the bit?
The bit is I just do a truncated, but he really milks it. He's got a better way of doing it. But I say, so I'm outside, right? I'm out front of the club, and I'm talking to this woman. I don't know who she is, fan. And she's one of these people who likes to announce that she's a hugger before she hugs you.
Oh, yeah.
She goes, I'm a hugger. I said, well, I'm a kisser. She wasn't a hugger anymore. And then I go on. But so I'm watching Spade's thing.
It's
I'm
a
going,
good quickie.
oh, shit.
Is that
Okay.
in your special?
It was kind of because it was during COVID.
No,
This
it was
was
a
I'm
big-
a hugger, and then
Oh,
she goes.
He's an ass grabber and
and
all
she
that.
didn't say
So
no,
just
yeah.
absolute. Sometimes it happens parallel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many comedians out there now. I mean, a lot of comics are doing the same hunks, same topics. And I'm going through these things. I'm thinking, okay, got to get rid of that.
No,
got to get rid of
no,
that.
yeah.
Got to get rid of that.
It's
No
just,
one sees
it's
it
your
all.
spin on it because
Mhm.
back when we started, everyone had a 7-Eleven joke at McDonald's. But then I was like listening to Dennis Miller, and I'm like, well, he's not a hack. He's doing all of them, but he just does his version of it. So as long as it's your version of each joke, who cares?
Well, I like the way you did my version of it
Yeah.
really well.
Yeah, you know, I remember that night you went and saw Kevin at the store. And you go, he was really funny.
I
His
said-
opener was great.
I said, I have no
yeah.
ideas for a special. Then I saw him
Yeah.
and I go, I have a lot of ideas.
And then you said all of a sudden you had a new act, but you said you saw him there, and then you also saw him at the Ice House.
No, I just did one. But Dana was telling you about shots. Dana wasn't happy with his shots.
Yeah, he liked the
his.
cowboy shot.
And so you try to go loose. Even this is like, it's really nothing, but it's kind of important.
Well,
Dana and I like to
let's-
show both of us. So it's just like a more of a bullshitting.
Let's let them in on what the cowboy shot is. This is like
Yeah.
it started with Steve Allen, I think, or Carson. Comes out for the monologue. If he had a pair of 6-shooters, you'd still see the bottom of the guns. So it's sort of like mid upper thigh. And also then if you gesture like, so I went to Nova Scotia, you could still see the hands in the frame.
Yeah, it's
And
wide
so
enough.
that's the shot you want to
helps.
stay on most of the time. The special I did, for some reason, they had 8 cameras. They didn't have that shot.
Yeah.
They had head to toe or here.
tight.
And here is good for horror films.
Yeah.
But for comedy, it's editorializing. And when it's that Jimmy Kimmel, Fallon, they all do, Colbert, they all do that cowboy shot.
You
So
should be a
that's-
cinematographer. You're so good
Well,
at noticing those
yeah,
things.
thinking of that, I know, I can't help it.
Well, when there's
I
always a
think
shot
just-
of sweating, like
oh, yeah,
tight
it's the
shot.
worst. Yeah.
Some comic, you're like, oh, this guy's working.
I think just the title alone will bring people to my show.
Oh, what is
my
it?
Okay,
special
what's
is
the
called
title?
Loosen the Crotch.
Loosen the crotch.
Loosen the crotch.
Hilarious.
Mostly.
I like it.
I'm doing one too. It's called What's Up, Bitch?
Oh,
Yeah.
and who is she?
I'm trying to top yours. David, if your special wasn't Dandelion, what was it going to be?
It was going to be in between benching.
That's good.
Actually, a friend of mine, Larry Bubbles Brown, is like just very funny. That was where I got the line from. He wanted to name my special, Don't Laugh, Bitch, You're Next.
I don't mind that.
Well, it's such a like painting a picture of something.
Spade, you're just called Dandelion?
Yeah.
That's a great title. That's like Chris Rock's, tambourine. You have
I don't
no
mind
idea
one
what it-
word. It's kind of vague.
Mhm.
And
No,
it
it's
really
nice.
kind of means, because in one of my bits, I say, I almost got in a fight at McDonald's. And I say, guys, I can't get in a fight. I'm a bit of a dandelion. I look tough on TV, but I will
That's where it comes
I will
from.
break easy. And
No,
then
I
I
think it's
couldn't think of
good.
a title.
But that's good
Yeah,
too,
that's
because you
good.
could kind of refer back to it. So, well, that's, when I did Dandelion,
Yeah.
as opposed to, that's when I did Loosen the Crotch.
Well,
It's not the same,
Don't
really.
you love when people refer to shows they do and truncate it? I knew a
Oh,
guy who
yeah,
worked on Saved by
JSN.
the Bell, and he wanted it to seem more
Yeah.
fancy. He goes, yeah,
Yeah.
that was when I was working on Bell,
Yeah.
And,
SABD.
It's like Curb Your Enthusiasm.
yeah, we
People go
worked on
Curb.
Bell,
Yeah.
But, I
Bell.
was working on Dandy. That was my Dandy
I know.
special.
Curb Your Enthusiasm went down to curb, but it could have just, it's easier than saying, I worked on enthusiasm. You tighten it that way. It's
It's
not as
hard to
good.
do that. I don't know
Anyone?
if they'd go Feld. We had a show called Feld.
Seinfeld.
You guys are two of the people I think I could sit and listen to the most and enjoy like a conversation, like in a booth at a diner, not separately.
No.
That would be horrible.
Right, because you
but
need
together.
the two.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, in Russia, because a Russian friend of mine said this, is that if they go for vodka, they always get a third. So they never have two guys going out. So it's almost intrinsically kind of romantic, just two guys
yeah.
alone. What do you like for a woman to do? So they get a third.
Right.
So right now we're in a third. So
Yeah.
if you say something funny, you might have two people laughing. If
Yeah.
I say something
Might.
funny, I probably have two people laughing and then people in the background laughing really hard as well. Now, if David,
That's the same policy I have for a threesome.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You don't want two one-on-one.
I
think
did
is
have a
lot
have you
better.
ever
threesome
done a
once.
2.5?
You've had a threesome?
I had one recently in college. Did I tell you this?
Recently, when you just graduated?
in college.
It was me, my buddy, and this other guy. Okay. Listen, it was one of us was supposed to be a girl. That was the first plan. That was the
Oh.
blueprint. And then it got nighttime. She flaked, and I'm like, guys, it's all set up. Let's just run through it once. Let's just grab someone. Let's just see if we get the beats down. You know what I mean? Let's just do the
rehearsal,
blocking.
dry rehearsal.
Mhm.
And we got the candles. It looks like a Sting video. And so
I don't understand.
in hindsight, it seemed gay.
Yeah.
When I explained it to people, and then they explained it to me.
It didn't. It was gay.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I'm sorry. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
but
some of the seams I guess is out of it now. It's all just
Well,
confirmed.
hindsight, it's got to be gay.
Yeah.
hindsight's a
hindsight
good
is
name
gay.
for a special.
Oh, man, that would be good. Hindsight. But then you got to put that word in there somewhere. Maybe
Oh, in
that
your act.
space
That's the
thing.
hard thing of doing that is like, a movie and then the title's somewhere in it. It's not a rule, but it's kind of interesting that Dandelion was in it. But I liked Dandelion, and then I got to make sure I do that bit because I want to say it in there somewhere.
What about these guys
good.
who
Good.
have T-shirts printed up with their joke on it, and they got like 1,000 T-shirts, and they got to keep doing that joke
Oh, that's right.
to sell the T-shirts.
Who was the first
Have-
one you remember that had merch? Vic
Well, I don't
Dunlop
know.
was mine.
God, what a good
Probably,
memory.
yeah.
Remember
I think
him?
you're right.
You know what
Oh,
it
yeah,
was?
Tim Thomerson. I'm just thinking
Eyes
of
that
the
were
Comedy
red.
Store regulars.
They were like, it's what people, well, you don't know. A bit from their act that would kill.
Yeah.
They decided, I'll bring up a suitcase full of these goofy eyes. And then people laugh. They walk out drunk. They grab it for $10 or something.
The great thing about Dandelion is you could just put that on a shirt, and people like that anyway. Even if
And
they
have
don't
a
know who
nice
you are.
dandelion.
It'll be
on
a
it.
skinny dandelion with a little Band-Aid on it. And the white parts will be my hair. And it'll say, blow me. It's not bad.
Oh, so it's not the
Little
that's
dou-
a
double
overly
entendre.
ripe Dandelion.
Yeah, but I thought that's what they all were.
No.
That's how stupid I am.
Yeah.
Kevin's like, oh my God, no.
That's good to be able to say "blow me." It's like wasn't Howard Stern's book "Coming All Over You Again" or something?
No, that
like
was Tom Segura's tour is I'm coming all over the world.
No. Howard Stern had a book.
Coming all
too.
over.
So why? How come we never did
Yeah,
Hans
Coming
and
All
Franz T-shirt? I guess we couldn't back in those days.
Hey, have you
Don't
read
be
the
a
Lauren
girly
book?
man, huh?
Have you read the Lauren book?
I'm on page 800.
Really?
How's
I
the
just wait
second
for other
half?
people to read it and then explain it to me. Have you read it?
Not
You're
yet,
reading
but
it.
my wife read it, and she every morning she gives me a recap. of
Oh,
each,
really? Oh, that's
yeah.
good.
So I might do that as a like as an Instagram. Like
Oh, to
every
read it?
every day, read it and just kind of give a
Oh,
little.
you
And it would
should.
go on for a
Summation.
long time.
I'd watch it
Yeah.
because I want to know what's in it.
Yeah, but
Any
she just you know,
Photos?
yeah,
Hmm.
Is there photos in it?
a couple. Just me though. Just a lot of different.
Oh, he was always my favorite.
Did you still draw cartoons?
Something about Kevin.
Did
It's
you ever draw
interesting.
me?
Not yet. It's interesting to see how many people got fired from that show that
Yeah.
you didn't know got fired.
It was soft firing though, kind of. We talked
Well,
to Taryn Killian
yeah.
about that. It was sort of like you're never like you're fired. It
You're-
sort of
you're not
slowly you
invited
get the
back.
Like Farley and Sandler, you know.
I didn't know that. Did you know
soft
that?
firing, right?
Yeah,
Did you know they got fired?
I
then?
didn't know that.
I did not know that.
I knew it. I found out about a year ago that they got
Me
fired.
too.
Yeah.
Because they were
yeah,
doing
we were
so
doing
well.
that threesome. And
Was that you, the third
guy?
What school did you go to?
But that book, it's pretty interesting from what I'm hearing.
Oh, Lawrence?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sure.
yeah.
I heard it was really good. She spent Susan Morrison,
Yeah.
8 years
10
on
years.
and off. 10 years, I'll say.
She came on here and yapped about it.
Really?
It's good, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
Would you
she-
like to have a book written about you?
No, because I
David?
don't like everyone's recollection. People are like, oh, in Arizona, my friend drove with you. You were sitting on a keg in the back of a truck all the way to Flagstaff, cracking jokes the whole time. I'm like, wrong, wrong, wrong. Would never be in the back. Would never be cracking jokes the whole time. Keg, maybe. But it's always
Crack.
like stories that are like it would drive me crazy if I was these super famous people that you have to read like all these things about yourself. And, you know, some's true, some's not, but you just feel like an asshole.
Okay, pop quiz.
Go.
It's $3 million to write the book.
Banana. What
That's-
was the question?
Tank.
You don't want to
$3 million?
write a book, but they say it's $3 million for David Spade. To
I
write it.
know. Dana's thing is like,
I'm about money and camera angles.
would you
That's the
do
name of
this?
my book.
And then you say, absolutely not. Would you do it for this much? And you go, well,
You know, I do this hiking show, as you know, because you were both on there.
I
called
was
Hiking
on it
with Kevin
twice,
on
Griffith
YouTube.
Park, or 3 times.
Yeah. And
great
often
show.
people go, who was the most
oh,
of
yeah.
a handful on your hike? And I said, well, you know, everybody's great. I said, no, if you had to name one.
Mhm.
I said, well, David Spade. David Spade
This-
finally agreed to do it after 2 years of me
Because either the
hounding
sun
him.
might blind him. And
No,
No.
he said that, okay, I'll do it, but it's got to be in between rush hour traffic. And it's got to be totally flat.
I gotta be flat. That's
It's
for
got to be flat. And I got just a trail. It was totally flat.
sure. You fucking asshole.
And
You
we're
know what it was?
walking,
Nope.
and all of a sudden he stops. And he goes, are we going uphill?
Mhm.
It was like a
Ah.
1% grade.
I could feel it.
He
I
could
could
feel
feel
it.
it.
And he had to have food.
Feel it in my neck. I'd have a picnic.
You had to have picnic halfway through.
Poor Kevin. First of all, I did suggest that Kmart parking lot on 3rd by the Grove. I go, it's funny. It's flat.
Okay.
All we're going to do is talk. Do we really need to beat the shit out of me? And he's like, yes, we do. This is very legit. What we
Part
do
of
here.
it is the effort. Kind of.
No. Anyway, so then,
Not in your episode.
not big on effort. And then, but Kevin, I was thinking, what a puss I am. He's holding a camera, right? And you have all these waters for me and you to make sure,
Yeah.
little trail mix for me
First
when I
aid
black
kit.
out.
Mhm.
First aid kit for when I get bit by a snake. So we're walking up and I'm like, this poor guy, and it didn't even bother you. You were just like,
Well, it's flat.
yeah. Well, you're still holding stuff.
Do you ever wonder what people say about you at your memorial?
I know that's kind of sad, but I do think about it sometimes.
Don't you wish you could have a memorial before you die?
I feel,
That's called a birthday party or something. I don't know. It's called something.
You're right.
you know what, you know you're getting old when someone goes, how old are you? And you go, blah, blah. And they go, still kicking. Am I that close to not kicking anymore?
The worst is when they say, you look good for your age. So in other words, you're really old, but you look good.
But you're pulling it off.
I know.
Yeah.
I used to tease Sandler. I don't do it anymore, but I would always say, "So you're what?" And I would, knowing
Go
I'm saying
under.
like 6 years younger.
Yeah.
So you're like 34 right now, right? And he goes, "Oh, Carvey, you son of a bitch." It's
Yeah.
like he's 40, but always go older. Like I just tell people I'm 87 because I just want to be shocked. I want them to go, "What?"
I like to go up to muscular people, that I know. I go, so when did you stop working out?
It's so great.
Then you get them in a headlock.
Yeah.
Here's one I think we shouldn't do as a society. This is pretty heavy for everyone.
Interesting.
But every time someone croaks, whatever, delicately put, they put them on their Instagram, and everyone says this really nice things. They should do that when people are getting toward the end. Like, they should see that. I never got the thing about writing on Instagram to someone who's dead or someone who's not there, and they write this long thing. That's for people to say, oh, what a good guy you are. They can't read it.
No.
So they would cherish it if they saw it before.
Okay, let me have you. This is
Right.
I'm fascinated. I love that, and I'm also fascinated in the general topic is people who have successfully faked their own death and disappeared on planet Earth. So
Small.
if you were going to fake your own death
Yeah,
and really had to get away with it,
finally.
what would you do? You have 5 seconds.
Well, I've done it several times, so I know. People thought I was dead until I came on here.
Your name is Vladimir Koltsitz.
You know what you do? You get a show on the CW.
I think I would.
Johnny.
Remember, what's his name? DC Cooper or something? He jumped out of
Oh,
the plane.
DB.
Yeah, that's
DB Cooper. Yeah,
probably successful. He
Yeah.
parachuted out. Probably,
yeah. And Andy
then he
Kaufman, of
disappeared.
course, faked his death. He's still out there somewhere.
Is he?
Andy Kaufman. Yeah.
They say a lot of people are. Elvis.
I think I would have to do something with an explosion,
Mm.
so that it would seem like there's
That
no way I
helps.
could have lived.
Mhm.
But
No questions.
well, first of all, you want to
Body
leave
heat.
everything at home, so they would think that you couldn't go anywhere without your credit card or your passport or anything.
Yeah, you'd have to
Leave it all there.
Oh,
So
you
they're
leave
not-
it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then
Interesting.
I think I would almost kill myself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I could like come out of a coma
Okay.
later, like in the middle of the woods.
But you could say you have amnesia or something. You
Yeah.
don't
See,
remember.
I could convince people that I was dead without going anywhere. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, I don't.
I don't either. I'm riffing here.
What about the lady that said she had an affair, but she just came out and she said, I was attacked. I don't remember anything. And she beat herself up. So, they bought it
I
for about
remember
10
that.
minutes and they go, hey, you want one? You can have one.
I'm going to have one of these.
These are
Look at
mine
this,
now, but I'll
man.
give you one.
Oh, talk about gorilla testicles.
Tasty.
Good. Let's get
You know
that in
what?
slow motion.
Wow.
Tighten in.
Dana, you haven't had this many carbs in I don't know how many years.
Mm.
I just don't. It would make me sick. I can't have that much sugar.
Is this a jelly donut? Or custard?
Vanilla
They
cream.
look delicious, though.
Fucking shit, Kevin. This is expensive.
Is it talking?
This is nice.
I could return 2 of them. They said if there's any unleft.
Are there sponsors?
Oh, really? Then they're going to sell them to the next guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
But
Go ahead.
yeah, I don't know. How would you make it look like you died?
Well,
It's
There's something
it's
you
a
need to think
trickier
about.
question. I'm sorry I
mysterious
brought it up. It's
skateboarding
like,
accident. I went out to skate the desert pipes, and then I just disappeared. And they thought the coyotes got me, and then people didn't know if they meant the coyotes that bring you over the border, and it was just so.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is mine. I would introduce to the
mine
world that
bombed.
I'm a long distance ocean swimmer. And so for at least 3 months, I would go out there and I'd swim in the ocean.
Okay.
And then one day I would, hire some local bandits or whatever, have a rowboat.
Bandits.
And I just get in their boat and, I'd take off my trunks and the flippers and everything. and put
That's a
them in
great
it.
idea.
And then I would just row to
you know what?
another
Sleeping
place.
with the Enemy. Remember that movie? Julia
Yeah.
Roberts. Let's look at a clip.
I-
She swam off.
She did. Yeah. I'm more about leaving parts of my body
Yeah.
so that they think that,
That's a
well,
good
that's
trick.
it. Like I would take
Okay.
This is something I really have to sacrifice.
Okay, no joke.
The lower, my jaw. I would rip that
Oh.
out so they have dental records. They know it's me.
Yeah.
And where's the rest of the body? Doesn't matter.
Does a tooth count, or they can't tell? They have to look at your whole jaw.
Just the dental. The dental, I think.
But like, if you left a tooth,
dental,
could they
yeah.
tell it's yours?
Yeah, maybe.
First of all, I'll put tattoos on all my teeth as like a bit. Then they'll know I have that. Then I just leave one tooth. And then I want to go, you want to put that in there?
Can I just put that in there
Yeah.
to keep it safe? I'll put this on top of here. You know, these are really sweet.
I was on a date with this girl and I go, hey, do you want the rest of this pasta? And she goes, I don't want the rest of anything. Just give me a new one. I was like,
Wow.
God, how long did you go out?
dude, I faked the bathroom and I bounced. No, I didn't.
That's
I
a
bought her dinner.
disappearing act. Like, I'll just be okay. And then you just bolt.
Ghost out. That's roo-hoo-hoo.
How far do you think someone was hustled? And as you know, what is the record for hustling somebody like out of a club? You know how they hustle you out? You know, like they're throwing you out, but then they keep going. They keep hustling.
Oh, they
you,
hustle
you know,
you out. Like, all right.
down
They
La
used-
Cienega, onto the 405. They're still hustling.
down to
Yeah.
San Vicente and then keep going to the 10.
Well, the record is 30 miles.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
The wreck.
Flat. You would like it.
What joke did I think of yours the other day? I always tell you the same ones. I'm trying to think of different ones.
You always bring up the joke I used to do. I got a really nice camera. It's one of those black ones.
That's because every camera was black back then. I was like this. Wow.
Back in the day. Mm-hmm.
That was good. The nestled in the hills, the hotel.
Again, this is all memorial stuff.
It's you don't do it anymore.
eulogies. Huh?
You don't do those anymore.
No, I
You don't?
No, you don't keep stuff like that, do you?
Once in a while, if I'm stuck in a jam, I do your jokes.
Oh, here's a good story. I ran into David Letterman
Yeah.
over the holidays, and he could not be more complimentary.
Yeah.
And I never felt like I knew him that much or that he was a fan of mine, but he was listing stuff. He goes, "Oh, that you did the Mark Twain thing for
Yeah.
Lorne. You were the funniest one there.
Oh wow.
I love your hiking show. I watch it all the time.
shit.
Really good. I'm not kidding. It's a really good show." And he goes, and then I keep quoting your joke, of the Lincoln joke. And I goes, what Lincoln joke? He goes, the one where, the one you do, the Lincoln joke. I said, I'm not sure which one you're talking about. The Lincoln joke where it goes like this. Abraham Lincoln used to walk to school every day in the snow, but what they don't tell you is he was late every day.
Mhm.
I go, I don't remember that one. He goes, well, I've been giving you credit for it everywhere. So I thought, well, maybe I did do that. And then I thought, I'm gonna do that again, man. I'm gonna do that. My next set. So I go up there and I do it. Crickets. Not one laugh.
I don't personally get it.
Because he
well-
walks so long, he's late every day.
I know, but
Well,
what,
you don't. You think he's a hero, but you know what?
what has to
He's
be
late.
set up like it was unbelievable. He walked in a blizzard every
You know what
day.
it said?
you
He
know.
got there.
He was a
there.
hero.
He had most absences.
Needs a much bigger setup.
Most
before
tardy.
he
Well, I'm
goes.
just quoting how
I mean,
he
he was
did it.
really late.
Yeah, we're fixing this joke that Kevin didn't even do.
I think our friend David Letterman misremembered it. I think you would have written it a lot better.
I ran into him and he didn't read my resume.
A friend of mine gave me a joke. A friend of mine gave me a joke that I was doing again at the beginning of my act,
Yeah.
and I thought it was his, but it turned out that it was like a well-known old joke that's been around forever,
Yeah.
and it goes something like this.
So,
And then you can punch it up.
There's a lot of
afterwards.
those.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, it's
we
like
don't know stock jokes. We
it
don't know
goes
where they
something
came
like
from.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this guy, you really have to appreciate things in life. A lot of people don't. Like I know of a guy. He has sex twice a day. He reads 3 books a week, and he's always working out. And yet here he is still complaining about being in prison. I mean, really?
That's good. That's not yours, is it?
No.
That's a good one.
That's a good joke.
But I thought it was his, and so then when I Googled it, and it's it's like
Oh, joke
a
book.
joke
Yeah.
that's out
I
there.
have this joke that gets such a laugh. I don't know why. 2 Irishmen walk out of a bar. It could happen. Why does that get such a laugh? I do it as George W. Bush.
Because they're all
joke.
drunks, right?
Two
Well, you got to
Irish
give the
walk
name of the pub. You got to give it like McSorley's.
Well, if I
You
do
just
it
gotta give it a little
as a
more.
character, it gets a big laugh.
Oh, you do the Irish accent.
Is it
No, I
because-
do George W. Bush. I
Oh,
said
right,
he was
right.
a funny,
Is it because they're all drunks?
The core knowledge you'd have to think is they never leave a bar because they're alcoholics. But there's more teetotalers in Ireland than any other country.
Really?
Yeah, but the ones who drink make up for it.
But they love their tea. The British people and English people. Let's have a proper tea, huh? Can we have a proper tea?
Yes. My mother-in-law is Irish, 94, and everything is tea. She likes a cup of tea. Love.
I'm the worst at British accents. Spade, I don't think you are either.
No,
I think you're worse at it. At SNL, when they had a table read and everybody had to be British,
sickening.
Phil Hartman, everybody doing different,
Dialect.
places of England. And it comes around to me, all I could do is John Lennon. Oh, I remember one time,
That's good.
That's all I could do. Yeah. And everybody laugh.
No, here's where I got to laugh because they go, you have to do German. And this one I go, German. And then they go, and I think Mike Myers was Hitler. And they go to me and I go, mein Führer. Then I got to laugh. I go, oh. So every time they kept coming back to me, I fucking milk the odd Jew out of it. I was like, this cat. Cat likes the milk. I give it to him.
Do you have any cats? Do you have any animals?
Do I have any animals in this? I have to ask someone. No, I share a dog named Junebug.
Junebug?
Mm-hmm, Junebug.
Nice.
Bulldog.
Cute.
I have a great name for a dog if I ever got one.
That's a good idea. What are the names?
Chowder.
Chowder?
Yeah, like clam chowder, but chowder.
Oh, that's
as
cute.
they say in Boston, chowder.
Yeah, that sounds so much like
chowder. Chowder.
I like boss.
Does anyone know
What's
what
up,
chowder
boss?
is? Mm-hmm.
What's up, boss?
Hey, boss.
Irvine Improv. I keep
Irvine
plugging-
Improv,
Yeah.
May 10th.
So we're
I'm
watching
shooting my
more clips,
special.
or what are we doing?
Yeah, let's watch a couple more
Shooting my
clips.
special called Loosen the Crotch.
Loosen the crotch. Where do you
6
see
and
it?
8:30 at Irvine Improv.
Oh,
you
I thought
see
that
it.
was a joke. Loosen the crotch.
No,
No,
Oh,
that's
that's
it.
great.
That's
Okay.
great.
It
But
made
you
me
tape
laugh.
It is a joke. It's
So you're
part of a joke.
taping
No,
it
it's
there.
great. Loosen the crotch.
Taping it there, and then we'll see.
Okay. So we're going to tape it. So show up at the taping.
Irvine Improv.
And
May
let's look at a
10th.
few
May
more
10th,
stories
Saturday.
and we'll bomb on these and then we'll wrap it up.
Tickets going fast. We'll fade out here, but the next thing you see is him doing
I thought
stand-up.
about
Be good.
low ticket warning isn't a bad name for a special.
Oh, that's good. Well,
Yeah.
Dana had the best title. Tell them your title. For
Oh,
your special.
Critics' Choice.
Critics'
right?
Choice.
Critics' Choice.
Yeah.
People think, oh, the critics love this.
Yeah.
But no, it's the title.
Yeah. And then Sandler did Certified Fresh. 30.
Yeah.
That was kind
Oh,
of
for tomatoes.
yeah, for tomatoes.
What are you
Bob
calling?
Hope.
Oh, dental.
I've been in
He's on Amazon.
probably 6 Sandler movies and combined we got 100% rating. Combined we got about a 54.
Okay.
We got 9 on grown-ups, 8 on grown-ups too.
Great.
You're still ahead of Master of Disguise. Master
Those
of Disguise
tomatoes are harder to get than you
got
think.
negative 19. It was so bad that they actually, Rotten Tomatoes, like 10 years later, 15 years later, rewrote the review. Because then they thought it was much better. And they said it was if it was written by little children.
Even the tomatoes turned themselves into ketchup. They were so embarrassed by that movie. Okay, let's do one.
If there was a sarin gas attack, where would you go?
Oh, under the Superfly sign.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a earthquake
That's the right
earthquake kit?
Yeah, it's got my headshot in it. It's got a couple basics.
You got a fire kit?
Three
Joe Dirt,
Triscuits and a Slim Jim.
VHS Joe Dirt's in there.
I hold like this.
We got
That's
such
good.
great food in our earthquake kit.
Oh, you have? What do you have? Some gourmet stuff?
Well, not much now because I've been eating.
Oh,
I've been,
you got
dipping
into it? Don't get into the earthquake kit.
Oh man, I love it, man.
What do you have in there? Spaghetti
Well,
meatballs?
I replaced it with just popcorn. I just fill it with like
It's
one
like
of those popcorn. Yeah. But people get those earthquake kits and stuff, and
Mhm.
if they put them in the house, how are they going to get to them? If the house is totally
Oh, yeah.
collapsed.
I would like a buzzer that tells you where the earthquake is going to be so I can get to a part of the house that would help me because chances are you'll be in your car or whatever. They say this last one, the buzzer went off, but it only gives you 8 seconds. Like everyone just goes like this for 8 seconds. And then, like, where are you going? What's the
They're going,
plan?
No.
Yeah, you
8
yell,
times.
no.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
But you weren't threatened by the fire. You weren't, Dana, because you live up
Nope.
north.
No, it doesn't scare
Not
me.
a chance, but I haven't been there.
Dana goes, I'm going to move so far. There's no fires out. There's no fire. They don't know what fire is.
We laugh at that.
Uh,
It really makes you realize what's valuable in your life.
yeah. What
You know,
was
that
it?
What'd you realize?
I was out of town
What's valuable? I can't remember.
and the fire was coming close to us. You know, we were in the evacuation red flag area. And I called my assistant. I said, would you go to the house and get those external drives I have and my passport? She goes, yeah, she got it. Fire's not getting to our house yet. You know, there's no evacuation notice. So I called her back. Would you go back to the house and less valuable stuff? Will you go back to the house, get that Gibson guitar I have and that art set? And then it got to the point with, would you go back to have a mechanical pencil on the desk that I really like? You know, I like the way it writes.
Sure.
And there's a sandwich in the refrigerator that I made yesterday, tuna salad. And it goes on and on like that.
Would you go on? Would you take the garbage out while you're there?
Yeah.
Would you go back? It's just inconvenient. For
Would you
neighbors,
go
know.
back? Hey, I know
Hey,
you're.
do me a favor, could you get on a plane tomorrow, go to my second home in Arizona, and check and see if the air conditioner is on? Do me a favor.
Do me a favor.
Do me a favor.
I was on the road and
Do
I
me a
got
solid.
this house right here. They had a mansion alert. Do you remember that? I have a mansion app.
I hate that in the middle of the night.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
Amber Alert, when that thing goes off, I'm more scared than the kid, just for that short time. All right, well, our guest has been Kevin Nealon.
I'm still Kevin Nealon.
Oh, our guest
There's
is still
your
Kevin
next
Nealon.
special. Still Kevin
Kevin
Nealon.
Kevin, Irvine Improv, May
May 10th.
May 10th.
Tickets are going fast.
Tickets,
What
they
are
might.
the show
Where do
times
you get-
again?
You can get them on kevinnealon.com.
Okay.
Or you can go to the Irvine Improv and get them on there.
Irvine Improv, great room, a lot of fun. You can eat right there. Javier's,
drinks.
great place. Paul Martin.
Cocktails.
Yeah, I love that place. So good luck with it, and I'll see you here at the practice sets. And let's hike it, man.
All
Let's
right.
go a little steeper next time. Don't be a puss.
All right.
All right.
I couldn't agree
You
more.
said
All right, I'm gonna leave, and you guys, leave in about 5 minutes. Okay, bye guys.
Dana Spade.
Yeah.
Dana Spade.
We
Dana
faded
Carvey.
out.
Dana
Better ending
Carvey.
for us.
Nice.
This has been a presentation of Odyssey. Superfly is executive produced by Dana Carvey and David Spade, Jenna Weiss Berman of Odyssey, Heather Santoro, and Greg Holtzman. Hope you liked it. Ooh.